Just thought I would let you know about that.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, good to know. Just shoot me a message, Judge. So, how's everyone's days?
Eh.
Sleepy.
Are you ready to finish this dungeon? Or at least see what's in this next room?
It's by no means finishing the dungeons, but it is finishing level 1.
Oh God.
Exaggerated on saying that this was a 100 level dungeon, though it is possible.
I hope not.
You guys don't have to do the levels consecutively.
That's good to know. Okay, I'm just taking care of doing all the...
Someone's earliest could they come to my house and step on my spine?
You want what now?
I want someone to come to my house and step on my spine. I'd help.
Just give him a big old death hug. Crack that back.
I was trying to think about a rhyme that would work with the rhythm of that "crack that whip" song, and how it goes like "give them the slip" or something like that.
That
I
old
just kept
Devo
wanting.
song.
I just kept wanting to say that back, hit them in the sack, and I was just like, that's not fun. That's annoying.
Okay, I got all the link bombing done, so we're still just waiting on Andy.
Yep. Yeah.
Bless you.
Pint. Hmm. So, Myth,
Mm,
how's it being back at work?
mm, I'd rather not.
That is very fair. Where where did Andy go? She's now
Uh,
offline.
Of the locations for the UPS store, and it directs you to a cattleman's roadhouse.
There you go. Send a package and get some ribs.
There we go. Actually, a proper direction.
Okay, this is a funny little item.
Well, I saw her pop up in the game, so.
Uh,
Oh.
A box of 10 mints. Eating a mint changes your character's spoken language for 10 minutes. When consumed, roll a d10. The language options are Orc, Draconic, Sylvan, Celestial, Giant, Infernal, Goblin, Abyssal, Undercommon, and then just mute.
I'd love when my spoken language is mute.
You just eat a mint and you can't talk.
You fail to understand how much brimstone. Shut up! I need 10 minutes.
Well, it looks like Annie's returned.
10 minutes of me time.
Her computer just shut down.
It just gets her to stop talking, but it doesn't do anything else. So she's still trying to use them as a jungle. It's not saying it.
Leg. Brimstone that don't revolve around talking. That is her modus operandi. Duck with 4 legs and no wings.
Yes.
But,
A duck with 4 legs and no wing. Who took his wing? Let's see here. More dumb magic items for your D&D campaign. A sword that inflicts emotional wounds.
those were psychic damage.
Let's do psychic damage.
Probably.
Sounds like basically a sword version of Vicious Mockery.
Oh, that
A
hurt.
sword that
But it didn't. But it felt like it hurt.
hurt my soul. Emotional damage manifested as necrotic damage.
Sorry,
That hurt your soul.
No worries. I'm just reading off goofy stuff to help pass time.
I'm just screeching internally about the pain in my spine.
Ugh.
A hat that, when left alone with another hat, will mate and produce hybrid offspring.
The resulting hybrid offspring further mate with other hats.
I don't know. But
Or is this
apparently,
just like a single hat that can just fuck other hats?
yeah, and like, if the hat's a wizard hat and you put it next to a baseball cap, it would just fuck that hat into a pointy baseball cap.
or a wizard hat with a bill.
Isn't that just a pointy baseball hat?
Oh, it still has the wide brim of the wizard hat, but there's just an extra bill sticking out the front to let you know which side is the front of the hat. It's got a pointless snapback on the back of it.
Now I'm wondering, what kind of hat combinations could you make out of something like that?
Ow.
Just find it, suddenly, next thing you know, you're in an underground hat market, selling all these bizarre hybrid hats to nobles.
The top hat, make it brew with another top hat. Resulting in the tippy top hat. Continue this process ad infinitum, create Doug Dimmadone's hat.
Either that, or you make the hat of many hats from Team Fortress 2, just top hats with top hats on top of top hats.
Yeah.
Negative gold pieces. How?
Gray rubies.
Yeah. When you touch it, it eats one of your gold coins. A map that is the territory.
Are we ready to go, by the way?
Everybody's
Yeah.
here.
I'm ready.
Okay.
We thought we were waiting on you.
Well, I'm here. I'm ready. I was just staring and listening with items, and then trying to figure out how logistically they could actually work and be useful.
Well, I'll just shoot this list here. People can read it, and let's get started.
Yeah.
Obligate Carner. Introduce yourselves, you fools.
I'm Andy. My throat hurts, but I play Keta.
Hello, I'm a Hunter, and I play Da Vinci, who is probably way in over his head, but he's still pushing forward.
Hello, I'm Danny Boop. I'm the one who do the strum, and I play a very stressed out tiefling woman right now.
I am Feltros. I play the other, not so stressed out tiefling woman.
I'm Mathoja.
You actually got him to introduce himself without prompting this time. Momentous occasion. Yes, and I am Ash, or Jim, the DM. I threw out my back today and everything sucks! Now we say, last time on the Scattered Realms, Session 43, our band of intrepid adventurers, Keta the Sublucidous Bard, Javensha the Human Dancer, Monogon the Hexblade Warlock, Elsie the Sorcerer, Brimstone, and of the Hour. Venture through the Chronos Labyrinth continued to grow and challenge as they passed through 2 more rooms with elemental puzzles. A room containing little more than a map and a story. A room lined with crystal spires and arcing static. Drained the life away from them with every mistake made. With both rooms cleared, and code in hand, now moved towards what seems to be the final room of this level of the labyrinth. Right, so where we left off last time, you all had the door activate, and you were moving towards this final door, or set of doors rather.
Yes, we open the door and are walking in. Da Vinci at the front of the door at the top, and Failsy at the door on the bottom.
Alright.
Keta's all the way back.
So as you all enter this room, the first thing you notice
Whoa,
before you
shit.
even enter
Was that audio in the game, or am I just hearing thunderstorm? I just heard a really, really strong rumble.
I didn't. Well, if I don't,
That was
usually have some music up there.
probably thunder then?
Okay, okay. Sorry.
Also did switch over the audio track. but I don't think it had any loud rumbling in it.
I don't know. I can't.
Alright. You should really listen to the audio.
Yeah, my music's up on max. I can't hear it.
I can hear it.
Yeah, I can
Oh,
hear
there-
it. It's
there
like
it
a
goes.
whimsical.
Okay. Okay, I can hear it now. Let's go.
Ready. Oh. This is the first thing you all notice before you even enter the room, and it's very apparent, especially to you, Morgan, as you cannot see into the darkness of this room.
Oh, come on.
Even with Devil's Sight, I can't see in here.
Even with Devil's Sight, you can't see in here.
Another room of darkness?
Hey, you guys, can you see in there? I
No.
can't.
I can't either.
I hate this. I hate this.
Revenge.
Mm-hmm.
You start feeling on your person. Your watch starts ticking at its normal time again.
Rinchi is going to take a deep breath and pull out the watch. I
It
think
has switched itself over to the compass mode and is pointing forward.
we're almost out. I think we're almost through this part. One more, maybe one more thing. And then Da Vinci is just going to take a deep breath and walk straight into the darkness, holding out the watch.
Keta's gonna pull out her rapier and hold it close before following.
Morgan's following as well.
Those on Da Vinci's side watch as the darkness seems to part around him. Forward, and the arrow is continuing to point you forward. Who all is on the top side?
I think everyone but Failsy.
Yeah.
Who's on the bottom side? Then?
I think it was just fails. I think it was just fails. He was below.
Right. Just making sure. Da Vinci, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Immediately opening up with this.
Yep.
Just to see if you react fast enough to something.
Take a deep breath. Focus his senses. Try to keep ears out while there's nothing to see.
Anything
That
you
is Well,
Okay. Right. It's very bizarre because you all only is that constant second by second ticking sound. It's not just Da Vinci for a change. All of you hear it.
Oh.
Da Vinci, 12 is high enough. You are able to stop yourself and by extension your companions before you walk off the side of a platform.
whoa!
Oh, that would have been bad.
Hold up. The ground kind of ends here. How far did we walk in?
You started walking out of the first 5 feet of the door. You're going into the second 5 feet that you met at a slanted edge.
Is it a straight drop or slope?
You see nothing below. Drop into nothingness.
Well, this
Oh, the
Is
Rinda,
it-
how about you jump down?
I can't see anything down below. Is the compass still pointing forward?
It is pointing forward. Technically, it's not pointing directly forward, I should say. It's fine. Let me get the out. Once you originally it was forward, but as you enter the room, it turned to this angle.
Okay. Uh, hmm. Everyone, try to stay close to me, and can someone get Failsy and Fenris?
Start hearing as you're standing in this room a
Why does that not sound good?
your metal clicking.
Kata's gonna duck out of instinct.
Hmm. Vinci is going to try to hold determinant, and he's going to just follow the path being set out in front of him, making sure to keep his feet low as to not walk off a cliff.
As it currently stands, the darkness around you, as you're holding the watch, is being pushed back to basically the 5-foot square you're standing in. There is no dark. See where you're standing in that 5-foot square.
Okay.
Morgan's staying right with Trevenche.
You just hear that clicking sound. You don't see a path forming. I'm going to try to use the line tool here. You'd be in this part of the room. That is where the current facing ends.
Again, it's still just kind of a straight drop down.
So along that entire edge, it's a straight drop down. The north and the up and the left are walls.
I suppose I can't see Dravinci from here, from the doorway.
No, but as you step forward, the darkness is pushed back around you as well. I'll draw the pattern, or the flooring that you can see over there.
Come on, Fenris, let's see what's over here.
Just as a question, is it more parting around Failsy or from around Fenris?
Fenris is staying pretty close to Failsy at this moment, so it's hard to tell. By the way, neither of your groups can see the other.
Failsy!
You just hear from the door behind you as Kenta screams for your name, Failsy.
What?
Can you see?
Jack fucking all.
I imagine Morrigan and Dravinci are hearing Failsy from, like, basically to the right of them.
Also, I did this wrong. I erase. Spacing mixed up.
Okay.
About that. That was an error because I was looking at a real map compared to a Roll20 map, and it looked weird.
Okay, so the triangular platform is only just big enough to basically hold a few of us.
Technically, you could all stand on it because, bear in mind, it's technically it's a 10-foot wide, 7 feet deep platform. People can stand in that space, but D&D spacing for the sake of tiles is weird.
Well, it's just basically we couldn't exactly fight on these squares,
Exactly.
but we hear Failsy from kind of across this, somewhere in the darkness.
Oh.
Oh,
Hear her voice echoing up through the hall, but you do not hear her across the darkness. As far as you're aware, she is not standing in the same room as you.
okay.
The edge that's a drop off, is that like a slope down or?
Is a
Yeah.
sheer edge into darkness.
Hey, Morgan,
Yeah.
does your Eldritch Blast give off any kind of light?
Kinda, but I don't think this is a situation where that's gonna be helpful.
I don't know. It's just a suggestion. I can't really do jack shit.
Can I drop
Thought
a
I'd offer.
firebolt down the hole?
Failsy, what did you ask?
Can I drop a firebolt down the hole, like just down the sheer edge, to see if I can see past the see if I can see past my 5 feet.
You look down it within the 5 feet of clearance you have. It just extends down into darkness.
Mm,
Even if I throw a fireball down there.
The moment the fireball leaves that 5 feet of you, it's gone.
Hmm.
I don't know if it hits anything. You just don't see it anymore.
mm. Morgan, quickly, could you light a torch?
Yeah, I don't know what good it'll do, but I can certainly try that.
What I'm really thinking is the answer might just be off the edge.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. There doesn't seem to be any way but forward, and my watch says to go this way.
I mean, Dorinda, if you're the only one that can see, you're the only one that can find out what the fuck's going on.
I suppose you got any ideas, Fenris?
Arc Bjork, Borf.
That's what I thought.
Translate into words in your head for a change.
Oh,
He essentially says, path ahead seems to be blocked by a mysterious force above ourselves. We might simply need to tread further.
I'm assuming when Muddigan lights the torch, nothing happens.
The area in that 5-foot space grows brighter. Range of that 5-foot space at all.
So,
And if you take
Benji's-
it outside that space, it's not like it gets put out. You just can't see the light it gives off anymore.
So Da Vinci is gonna kind of take the torch from Morgan. Kind of give her a nod, and he's going to try walking straight forward off the edge, trusting his watch.
Murugan, you watch as Javinche walks forward off the edge,
Ah!
and at this point disappears from your sight because he left the 5 feet around you. Vinci. The moment you stepped forward, a panel flew underneath your foot and stopped you from falling.
Guess the same thing, but that was just Fauzi being an idiot.
Morgan's just going to suddenly see a bit of Da Vinci, just his hand with the watch sticking forward and kind of motioning with fingers for her to proceed.
Oh,
Damn dog.
Can we all come, or is it just your lady friend?
Well, you can't see any of this.
Keta, you don't know at all what's happening in there.
No.
Kenta went in with them.
I did not hear that, and your token is not in the room.
I assume we were doing group tokens still because it's a small area.
Well, we're split.
We split the party.
Yeah.
I also just didn't hear you say that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, she followed in after Da Vinci after she pulled out a rapier.
So, tread further, you say.
That would
Alrighty.
seem to be the only solution.
Well, nothing ventured. And Fauzi steps into the spooky darkness.
Madigan's just going to, like, kind of tap her foot where Javinci had been just to see if there is a platform there to stand on.
Tapped her foot and a little bit of like a wobble. There is a platform there. You can tell while standing on it, there is nothing supporting it. It is just floating in the air.
Okay, this is freaky, but I'm gonna... And she will just
Come on.
step onto the platform with them.
It's safe. Let's keep going. Da Vinci's just going to keep advancing forward.
If you say so.
Guys, gonna have to wait a second because it's hard to draw.
What kind of leap of faith bullshit is this?
Just Brimstone in the back with Belchal. I hope they're all right in there.
It probably did.
And that was the last time I ever saw them.
It's the best I can. It's not exactly how this is working, but
I mean, it's splintered triangular pieces creating various platforms to walk on.
I'm just gonna move there.
I remember what I did. Didn't actually disappear. I just realized I drew the thing wrong.
That's fair.
One of those things where I meant to do this before session, but I got distracted.
That's fair.
Don't move any further forwards, please.
Okay.
I'll just wait until the drawing's finished being drawn.
It's good as I can do it in Roll20.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Right.
Oh, go on,
Interesting thing.
Fenris.
I'm just gonna point this out. Interesting thing. That on this one immediately moves.
As in, it moved in a.
Move to fill in a different.
A different gap.
Hmm.
It's like there's a limited amount of them, and they have to fill in the spaces with what they have.
Oh, hup, 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 hup.
Ah!
Ferris is just right next to me. I'm just going to take him off the map.
Assume Fenris is on the same level as you. He can fit in your tile rather easily.
Fancy.
Cat is hoping that her tile doesn't move with her on it.
Everyone onto the center platform.
I can't see.
With both of them next to each other, the 10 feet in front of you are now illuminated.
Also, I don't have brimstone.
Gonna assume that he was moving with you guys once you realized what was happening.
Yeah, it's just there's not really.
Not enough space
Just
now.
Weird map. It worked a lot better as a drawing than as enrolled.
Just
I mean, would there be space enough to fit all 6 of us?
There's plenty of space to fit all 6 of you.
Okay.
Keep in mind, it can hold a
So the fell shards there as well.
Yeah, that's why I was saying 6. Because Fenris and you occupy the same space.
So you all are standing on the middle platform. You start feeling it lower.
Ah, shit.
Cat is just holding on to brimstone for dear life.
Platform. What? I thought we meant to go up. You're not
You
listening
actually
to my-
also watch. Is at this point the whole room suddenly illuminates, and you watch as these side panels that were on the walls move inwards, and they sort of like fold upwards to box in the center area.
I don't like this brimstone.
They're kind of acting like a safety gate to prevent any potential of you guys falling out.
This place is supposed to be where Altia is buried. So
Some
do you
weird
think
fucking burial site.
would she be buried at the top? Or would she be buried underneath?
Most likely underneath to deter people from trying to break down the entire thing to try to find her.
Be fair, in this place mentioned that this is where she died, and this was built on top of her.
So
Oh, we're gonna see the corpse of a god. We're gonna see the corpse of a god. Okay.
she doesn't look that bad.
We also don't know how far down this goes.
What I'm trying to say is that it's reason. It seems reasonable to me that we're moving down.
No shit! Because I felt like we were moving up.
You are sassy today.
I'm sorry, I've been stuck in here for I think about now 4 days? Technically?
We all have.
Bitch, I love you.
Has it ticked by another hour?
That, and Lee's voice just go, "Cat, I love you."
I don't. It feels wrong to be this boxed in.
Yep.
We have nowhere to go until we end up at wherever this is going to take us.
Yeah, we might end up dying in here.
I don't think that'll be the case.
I have doubts.
If we end up dying, we'll be
Guys
able to
can
know
actually
more.
look out the gaps of this place as well. There
Yeah.
are things moving past you.
Kent
What
is
are-
not daring to look as she's just clinging your brimstone side.
What is
Brimstone
possible?
would be at least.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
give full context to you all what happened when I say you got boxed in. Those side panels, like all of those panels from the sides of the room moved inwards to lift up around you, like folding up to make like a box.
Right.
Had faces from the ceiling that came down, basically repeated that pattern, revert, like on a 90-degree turn, and it filled the rest of the box in a large encased, essentially segmented box.
This feels like the weirdest takeout box for possibly murder.
Hmm.
We're gonna be okay.
We are in the place that is dedicated to Altia, built by her worshippers, who probably saw the possibility that she might come back. Why would they try to murder someone who had a group that has two pieces of her?
I don't know, Dravincha. Do you not remember the fact that when I mentioned a certain god's name, your weird watch closed and almost fucking took off my fingers? And I kind of am. I have a lot of that energy inside of me, and I don't know if you've seen my guitar as of late. But I feel like I'm probably not wanted here.
Also, grave robbers.
Yeah.
They
Just because we have Paces of Altia doesn't necessarily mean that they'll register as a crime.
What the hell is that?
What was that?
Heard that sound come from around you.
Like from
Can
a
we-
specific point or all around?
Can we see through the gaps? of the-
Imagine you're in an elevator and it came out of the elevator speakers.
Okay.
It's sort of like it's coming from above you.
Okay.
There's no direct source. It just seems to be filling the room.
Does the voice sound familiar?
I mean, I can't do it very well, but it sounds robotic.
Hello?
I can't understand what it's saying.
Can any of us understand what it's saying, Ash?
Speech pattern language identified.
Oh, whoa, that's
No, we just need to talk out of enough there or something.
that's weird.
So it probably had to hear us talk a lot of common.
Okay.
Common language, tongue of men. Pattern recognized. Dialogue new. Dialogue logged. Where would you like to go?
Oh my goodness.
Um,
The option.
Options. Kronos Forge. The Bell Tower. And Level 2. These are the locations this shift can visit.
Chronos Forge Bell Tower level 2.
Kronos Forge selected.
Ah, No.
I'll just feel as the box suddenly starts lurching in a direction.
Oh god.
Oh, we're going.
Oh, of course, we had to open our big mouths. We're gonna get taken to a place where we have no idea where to escape from.
Do not be concerned.
We need to find the exit as soon as we can. We're running out of time.
Kata starts fucking cursing to herself in Celestial.
In
Trying to
my
roll dice to
menu
see how long the
through
elevator trip lasts.
Hmm.
Alright, not very long.
Hmm.
Rolled that publicly, but I'm not going to tell you the table this refers to.
Hmm. Calm down. Things will be fine.
That is a mid-tier. That is a mid-tier amount of time. It takes about 15 minutes to arrive at your destination.
Hmm.
But
No,
when it
Never
does,
gonna-
Sorry.
it's 15 minutes here. You guys can say what you'd be saying at this time.
No, just Da Vinci is still holding out the watch, and he would be keeping an eye on the time.
Then
Keta says, I never want to stand this close to any of you ever again.
do you like some relaxing music?
No!
Can I investigate where that's coming from?
It's coming from around you.
Can I
You can
investigate-
tell it seems to be above you, but there is no direct source where it appears to be emanating from. Like, your passive investigation and perception would let you see that.
Hmm.
Just seems to be coming out of the ceiling.
Da Vinci's, given everything bizarre going on, is just kind of almost unnaturally calm.
Keta's more anxious than normal. I don't know if that's possible.
She is tiny angst baby.
Well, Shaw, have you
Shouldn't
ever
seem high. Are you sure you don't want me to play music?
No!
Very well.
Keta, please. Velshaw, has this ever happened to you before when exploring here?
Oh, I was never given an option to enter a lower level of the dungeon before. Labyrinth.
It said level 2. I wonder how many levels there are.
In current construction, there are 10 explorable levels.
Why do
At
I have a
least
feeling?
as far as the trials of the Chronos are concerned.
If it's Kronos, then shouldn't it be 12 to make a full time wheel, I guess?
It
There
depends.
is no
really on-
correlation between these events. I am sorry.
It would also depend on how you gauge time. We gauge it by 12 hours, but who's to say that the group that constructed this gauged time by 10 hours or by
I
groups
don't want to
10,
get into
groups of
theory right now.
At this point, the 15 minutes has passed, and you feel the box stop. You watch sort of as the pieces around you just sort of fly away from you, and then fly back towards you to reassemble a pathway leading forward.
There's still darkness.
You're not in the dark. There's just a large open bay and open bay door in front of you.
What is this place?
Well, you wanted to go
This
to the
is the-
forge.
This is the Kronos Forge. It's the location you designated.
Da Vinci is just gonna walk forward along the path. What is the Chronos Forge?
Kronos Forge, the voice actually appears in a different location now.
Like following
Appears
you.
ahead of you. It appears ahead of you as you watch the lights of the room before you start ticking on.
Kronos Forge, the location where our Blessed Mother created many great crafts of machinery.
Great Mother.
Was
You,
was
you mean up
originally in
here?
a different location, but has since been moved here for convenience sake.
Are we still underneath the labyrinth?
Underneath is relative. Our way down the Kronos Tower.
So we're
Do
still
you,
within.
do you have a name or a designation of a name? I guess.
No, a name that would translate into this tongue.
What tongue would it translate into?
None but our own, and I am sorry, but none of you have gears.
We have a
Yeah.
dog with gears.
You almost hear sort of like the sound of a shutter, like a camera shutter zooming in. None of your characters obviously know what that sound is, but us as players, that's
Right.
the comparison.
Just
Just hear that sound around you.
It would appear that you do.
Designation Fenris.
But that is not the readout. But if that is what it should be, that is what I will change its designation to.
So are you just gonna be kind of everywhere that we are, just kind of talking at us?
Guardian of our Blessed Mother. Of course I am.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's got to maintain this place.
It is a lot of work.
Da Vinci, is your thing still pointing us in the right direction? Did we go the right way?
It's back to spinning. It's not spinning randomly, it's like it keeps detecting new points of focus.
I,
Did
I-
where was the Kronos Forge before it moved?
You say that a bit louder this time?
Where was the Kronos Forge before it moved?
Originally located near the Emerald Bastion.
Oh,
Due to complications of disagreement, it had to be moved.
disagreement with who?
Any beings.
well, it makes somewhat sense. Altia worked with Granum according to him, to make some various constructs.
Then I think I got cut off, but when you
You
said there was actually a happy little zoom sound.
Mhm.
happy little. What triggered that? I'm sorry, because you kind of cut up when you said
Mentioning of the mentioning of the name Granum caused the mechanics around you to make a little like weird, almost happy sounding buzzing.
May we ask questions about what was it? The Blessed Mother.
Of course. Who originally asked for her, or mentioned one. I believe you said Altia?
That is correct. That is the name I
Yes.
know her by.
Yes. That is the name at Granum, he who helped us rebuild.
It. This is where. Is this building where Altia currently resides?
Yes, in her damaged state, lacking many of her components. She until we can put her back together.
Are we gonna
How-
have? Are you gonna have to shove the watch up in Jaltia?
The. Hmm. Hmm. Da Vinci is going to give a sigh and look like he's debating saying something.
Here we are, arriving at the Kronos Forge. Essentially, you guys have been having to continuously walk forward as this pathway has been disassembling it behind you and reassembling in front of you. It's very bizarre to have to take a step forward into nothing, knowing that basically the floor is going to put itself together underneath your feet.
So Da Vinci was taking the lead for most of it.
I think I'm gonna call the voice Sky. Eye in the sky. Essentially.
Say that one more time, please, because that you cut out when we said it.
Kenta just says as they're walking. I think I'm gonna call the voice Sky. Kind of eye in the sky. It's fitting.
Interesting designation. That is what you decide that it.
Oh, you roboted hard.
Good.
No, I mean we couldn't hear you.
Indecipherable.
I know, I was just joking.
Hmm.
The voice basically said, if that's what you want to call me, then alright.
Okay.
So we're at the Kronos Forge. What do we see?
So the room you're entering into is very bizarre looking because there's not a lot in it. Like, you hear forge, and it summons forth the idea of hammers and anvils, like these work tables scattered around to allow you to make something. A about 60-foot wide room, 60-foot in diameter room, with a single about 20-foot in diameter platform in the middle. And suspended above it, the whole room has this sort of dome to it. Is this thing that looks like an hourglass with tons of tiny calipers. Calipers, alembics, tweezers, knives. It looks like a surgery mount from hell, just suspended above this thing attached to us.
Is it reminiscent to kind of how Altia worked on the watch?
Just seeing all of the tiny pieces, like all these tiny little hands, and just imagining something being put together by this, it does, for Dravinci at least, it's reminiscent of seeing the watch explode and just be suspended in all of its individual parts just scattered around.
And this is where Altia worked. Are you able to say what she worked on while here?
Of course. You have a specific question? He worked on many things.
Anything? Was there anything that was designed with enough patching to carry a piece of her?
She designed every piece with enough passion to carry her. It was often said that she put her heart and soul into every creation. So that is only literal in small and singular cases.
Could you
Watch.
please? Sorry.
That device you are holding in front of you contains a piece of her heartstone.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Small companion you have designated Fenris contains one of her soul gears.
Whoa, whoa. Just kind of look back at Fenris.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Orc.
Okay. Do you have a catalog of these notable exceptions?
Unfortunately, no. Some of my database is not currently accessible, as it has been quite some time since I've had to access the lower levels of the structure. I am sorry.
Is the
Mhm.
forge functional at the moment?
Well, Da Vinci is
have-
walking towards it.
If you have the materials, the presence of both a piece of her heartstone and a soul gear, it should activate.
How are we supposed to get out of here?
Guy, I have a question.
You can leave this location through the bell tower, as that was a query I have just received.
I have a question.
Is that?
Have you heard of a small, I believe, I assume construct? I-
Andy, you cut out.
I didn't hear what you just asked. I heard something about a small construct, I am assuming?
named necessity.
Oh. It is not one of Altia's directly, but something that helped her greatly. Have you all met 3 of the Fate?
One of us have.
Yeah, Brimstone, like,
I've met. It's been said that I have a mark of memory and a mark of entropy.
Is that
yeah.
just a flag for the DM's sake, or is that something we actually know about?
Do not know you have those. That's
Oh.
for my sake.
Yeah.
Well, we've met memory, and then Failsy, Brimstone, and I met Game Master, and we went through that shitty process.
Yes, and detect it. For the sake of it, by the way, the marks are so this thing can detect you.
Yeah.
I can actually read that one of you currently has all of what you would need access for to use the Chronos Forge.
Yeah, it's the one that's green and has the kind of horns.
Yes. Mark of memory. Brimstone. Please.
Yeah. What was that?
3 of them, actually, please. Make 3 Constitution saving throws.
Okay. You just want them in order?
3 of them.
Okay. 12, 23, 21.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
Yeah, the first one's a little rough, but the other two are pretty good.
Mark of memory. In Brimstone, you feel as a sensation of a piece of your soul being ripped out happens. It says Mark of memory. You take 6 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And you all watch as this whole, changing symbol just flies out of Brimstone's chest.
Whoa!
I don't think
What's going on?
I
Mark,
think
the mark
Brimstone moved
of
that.
necessity. Brimstone, you take another 2 necrotic damage as another strange symbol flies out of your chest. And the mark of entropy. And you take 4 necrotic damage as that's a line. As another symbol flies out of your chest. Hover for a second and then fly into the hourglass of the forge.
Sky, what the fuck?
Could you please explain?
Came to the forge to use it, I assume.
We unfortunately were unaware of what it all meant.
Well, we're here now. What can we use it for?
Whom may use it. Presence of a heartstone and a soul gear will permit it to be used once.
Oh,
You had the components.
Mm,
To make what?
But he requires.
Oh my. Oh, Granum, please bless me in this moment.
Damn him.
uh,
All you're talking. I can't fucking think. Shut up.
If you would please step up to the forge.
What has the Heartstone? So Fenris has the soul gem. The watch has the Heartstone.
Yes, they will not be taken.
Okay.
It's simply a requirement for activating. If you wish to use it again, and you require more power, you may need to find more of them. You'll need more to access lower levels of the field anyways.
But Fenris and the watch aren't going to be broken if I do this.
So this will not damage them at all, because that would damage our Blessed Mother. Merely need to be present.
The thought of losing
Okay.
Fenris fails, he just hugs her little girl.
Yeah, that's basically what Brimstone wanted to establish, because if it was going to break me, he'd be like, no.
Ember, Sniff, Bjork.
mm,
Alright.
yeah, you're telling me I would not part. I would not be parting with this this soon.
Yeah, I wasn't going to ask you to if it did. Alright.
Perhaps I should have explained beforehand. It has been a time since I have dealt with mortals and their desires for, I believe the term is taking it slow.
Information as well.
I'm sorry.
Alright.
Well, Brimstone,
Designation Brimstone. If you would please step to the forge.
Yeah, it does so. Alright, I know what the hell am I doing.
Watch as the 3 symbols that flew out of your chest sort of rotate around you for a second. They were previously sort of floating underneath the hourglass of the forge, sort of just rotating very gently in a circle. And they around you. And the world around you sort of goes gray. They're moving anymore. You and you alone to decide. What you might require on your journey. Some things that can assist you with your past. Some things that can assist you with your present. So I feel your most desired would be something that can assist with your future. I ask that you please make your selection. 3 orbs float and stop in front of you.
Okay. Are they just featureless?
You recognize the symbols on them because they keep changing and more of the color.
Okay.
The orb of memory is this sort of light blue color. A is a green color, and the orb of entropy is a red color.
Do they correlate past, present, future in that way, or?
Yes. Memory is obviously the past, entropy is the future, and necessity is the present.
Right. Well, I've never been one to be able to try to change the past. I guess I'm gonna need something to help me out in the future, because we're all gonna need help with that. Just kind of motions towards or grabs the orb correlating to entropy.
Basically, just you reach your hand towards it, and it sort of just makes this. It explodes, not violently, but it sort of just shatters.
Mm-hmm.
Entropy selected. Recently received an item that would make for a valid material substitute. Are you okay with me taking it?
That depends on what it is.
You feel as the small hourglass you would receive from the from the mountain of reflection sort of floats out of your pack and just hovers in front of you. This is a construct that our Blessed Mother assisted another one of your gods to create. An hourglass of time. A very life force of a being. It would work very well for creating a powerful item, if you would so allow us to do so.
Just. I mean, if it's gonna help, then I guess.
Can anyone else see what's going on?
From what you all see, Brimstone is just standing on the middle platform, and he doesn't seem to be doing anything
Okay.
or anything happening.
I feel like this has happened enough times to know that something's probably happening, but they just can't see it.
And they just sort of see Brimstone standing there.
Mm-hmm.
Time is passing for them. You're just seem to be thinking.
Right.
I don't see any of the motions you're making, though.
Mm-hmm.
Just during this time, can Da Vinci get a read on what Velchala's kind of how she's reacting to all this?
She is currently furiously taking notes.
Oh yeah.
You look over at her, and somewhere on her person, she's pulled out a sketch pad, and she has already drawn a fairly detailed sketch of this entire room. It is like labeling different things based on what you all have already found out what they are. Notes of things to investigate further. And you watch on another piece of paper, she seems to be trying to draw a diagram of the labyrinth itself.
I picture Da Vinci with his experience with what's already happened will just randomly just point at something like, for example, the hands present in the forge, and just like, no, that's a little incorrect.
This is the first pass sketch. It does photographic memory anyway, so I'll make it better later.
Oh, that's something I know my sister would want for her art, is photographic memory.
It's very useful, though it means you can never forget things that you have seen that you don't want to remember. You just watch as she just visibly just goes, ugh.
Right. As she's saying it,
Like that one.
I've accidentally walked in on my house getting out of the shower before.
Anyway, With brimstone.
Yes. So, brimstone. As you make your selection, and did you? I didn't hear if you said yes or no to what it asked you.
If it'll help, then yes.
Very well. You watch as Brimstone suddenly sort of reacts, and the small hourglass floats out of his pocket, phasing as if the large hourglass above is made of liquid. It sort of like drips through the bottom surface of it. And you just watch a flurry of motion as all of these tiny arms start reaching into the glass surface of the hourglass and pulling apart all are one within. Itself is deconstructed. The small metal bands that are holding it together are taken apart. The individual grains of sand trapped within it, each one gets its own caliper that holds it suspended in the air. This larger hourglass suddenly starts to glow. You just continuously are hearing this metallic clicking sound. Will take a short time. Feel free to step off the forge. We will alert you when it is completed.
Alright.
Where were you hiding that? Fuzzy had never seen the hourglass.
Whether or not that was a question directed at Brimstone or just Failsy saying it to herself, he does not respond.
Towards Brimstone.
Still, he does not respond.
I see this thing works very much like how Altia herself works.
What do you mean?
So I'm gonna mute myself.
Da Vinci is just going to kind of call out to the Guardian. No, Guardian Sky. I have talked with the Blessed Mother of Altia, and I gave her the promise of finding her components and bringing them back, possibly to here, to try to bring her back. Is there anything that you know here or elsewhere that would be critical to that mission?
Maybe anywhere else and not specifically elsewhere.
Elsewhere. That would be the realm that Magisteria shunted herself off into to protect her. She told us of it.
Well, anywhere here, as in this building, or anywhere else in this world.
I might be able to integrate your watch into my functions to scan, but that would remove it from your... And I don't believe you would be willing to allow that.
Unfortunately, if it wasn't for other pressing matters, I would.
We can always come back here.
No, the watch would no longer exist. Be a part of me.
Well, I mean, we know the location of the labyrinth back here. Eventually work on it.
If we find components while we're doing our journey, then we know where to bring them to.
Yeah. Sky, I have a question.
What is that?
Is there any animosity between the Blessed Mother and Graynham?
Between the Blessed Mother and Graynham? No.
That's
Oh, Graynham is our greatest ally among the mortal kind.
he's not mortal.
He's not?
No.
But he was.
Well, he was, but he's not anymore. Gods, it must have been forever since somebody actually came here.
Kenna,
Or since Sky left.
I think I think Sky's information is a little dated.
That's why I was
He is still mortal.
Hmm. I mean, it would it should wait. Should
You
Yes,
seem
but-
to confuse a god with a mortal given godly strength.
That's fair.
well, is,
Magisteria was a god. Emma is a god.
what about it? Would you consider Aquila to be a god?
No.
Would you consider Aquila to be a
That's
dick?
fair.
Indeed. He is terrible.
Well,
He served his purpose, but I wish him all of ill will.
okay. Well, do you know anything about the font of Graynham? Considering if Graynham's just a man with godly strength, then how the hell did the font of Graynham get made?
Font of Graynham was a promise between Graynham and the god of life. Pact forged between the two.
Kenta's covering her mouth and lets out like a high-pitched scream.
Katza, you may not get the answers you're seeking here.
It was just a curious question. I mean, this
I
is
know.
this is a construct. I figured why not? And I am hating every moment of this even more.
Keta, enough. But Sky,
I say something that upset you.
I don't think it was.
it's just related to a number of things that have been going on recently.
Hmm.
Oh, Ash, as everyone's sight had been turned, Kat actually did pop one of her emotion candies.
Which one?
She put in bitter,
Ah, I see.
and she chooses to willingly fail that saving throw.
If you eat the candy and you know what it does, you willingly failed the save. That's kind of how
Yeah.
they work.
Yeah.
So only if you don't know what it does and your body immediately reacts up, oh, this could be poison.
Yes.
It's like drinking alcohol. If you know it's alcohol and you want to be drunk, push yourself to not spit it out.
Mhm.
Just as a note.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's very bitter right now.
Sky, is there anything that you know of how Altia fell the second time?
Hmm. That. It was a long string of events. And unfortunately, it relates to things that I do not know if you desire to hear, given that you are mortals of this realm.
I want all the informations.
Oh, you don't like Aquila, so I suppose hearing of his misdeeds would not come as a surprise.
But
Not
Um,
particularly.
was it just Aquila involved, or was it also Graynham involved? Because right now it's kind of even heel.
well, Keta, if you remember, we were told one story that Aquila took power from Graynham and used it to strike her down. Another story where she was struck down by forces of Magisteria. There isn't really.
Trust most stories that we hear. I mean, hell, we literally just found a story that says that the constructs traveled across half of the fucking lands just to end up at Gurnham's doorstep, and nobody else knew that story.
Probably because it
Then
wasn't
don't you
told.
want more stories?
I believe that exists because of the advent gap of knowledge. I
Right.
believe the advent is what you call it.
Yes, so tell us of how Aquila is most likely a cocksucker.
A cocksucker. This is a word I have not heard before.
Oh, Katza, you
I
don't
will
ever
log it.
swear.
I will log it as a replacement designation for Aquila.
Rosie falls over laughing.
Anyway, please do tell us.
Would actually... Sorry.
Yep. What?
I was just type that he has to take care of something would now be as awkward as it was like a good idea to take a quick bio break.
It's not too awkward. You're about to get a story lore dump, so we can go ahead and take a break before you get it.
Okay. Alright, so back in 5 to 10, everybody.
Okay.
Is there any change? I know with the other candies there is an obvious change in Katja's appearance. With the bitter candy, is there any obvious change? Because she hasn't had the bitter candies before.
I'm trying to remember what the other obvious changes are.
Like
Remember off the top of my head because it's not on my pages right now.
Rage was like her face turning like a bright red. I know Joy was like she looks very dopey.
Oh,
think-
bitter just makes her look real grumpy. Like, her whole face like pulls inward slightly, and she just looks annoyed.
So even more kill of like the fact that she hates being in an enclosed space and she really doesn't like being here. So it's just like that annoyed expression tenfold. I was thinking I did a little coin toss on my side of like if she was gonna take bitter or joy, and it ended up on bitter.
Fair enough. Of all the flavors, and you chose to be bitter.
Yeah, it fits right now with Keta. I'm sorry that she's being a sassy shit, but she really does not like this kind of enclosed area, and just
We're in a giant domed room right now.
it's in the general feeling of being enclosed. There's no way out of the labyrinth.
More that they're
Tell you
still
where-
underground.
Actually, not underground.
The characters don't know that.
Yeah. Say something else, but now I forgot it because I paused myself to say that.
Also, I can't believe Cat cut the fucking construct a new word.
You're about to not believe it even more. Wait.
God. Somebody else is gonna come and just mention it because like, oh.
It's a fun character to write for.
Also,
Technically, this character is the labyrinth.
I have just realized Katya has a thing with naming the creatures that she's found.
It's a habit.
Yes. So do we have Charles and now we have Sky?
Yeah, it probably would never work, but it's like, hey, could you do me a solid? Could you just take apart this lock? Not the whole flask, just the lock.
I mean, you don't have the components to use the forge, unfortunately.
I know.
Just gotta eat necessity, and then you'll have the components.
Yeah,
If I met necessity, he'd probably give me the key.
I think technically the next two people that would be able to use the forge would be then Keta or Failsy, considering they just need necessity.
Or Motorgun if she ends up meeting Entropy.
If she meets Entropy, I'm scared for her.
Yeah, it's either you're very lucky and you meet necessity, or
You've pissed
We-
off
are
somebody.
also lucky, but you have to survive a gauntlet to survive entropy.
Or you wait a couple more months and be available for the Halloween game that's coming up.
I'm excited because my birthday falls on a Sunday, and I'm gonna have a Sunday game that day.
To be a birthday baby.
A birthday, baby. It will be Sunday, September 13th. I'll be 21. Though it would have been a bit more fitting if it fell on a Thursday, then I could celebrate my birthday with you guys.
Unfortunately, Halloween falls on a Saturday this year. It doesn't fall on a Thursday this year.
Yeah.
Still play a Halloween game.
God, Cat goes through entropy again. It's like, nope, fuck it, I'm done. I hate all of you. I hate everything. I am no longer sweet and adorable. I hate everything.
Don't talk to me, I angry.
And then you have Da Vinci who's like, what are you so upset about? I'm the one who got hit with everything. And
Just
I'm
literally
still
a
calm.
pincushion.
Also, that confirmation from
air
Sky is like, it's like, oh, of course, the thing that I need to find was a pact between my grandfather and the the god of life. Of course,
Pact between your grandfather and your technical.
other grandfather.
Yeah. Well,
Grandfather.
Yeah.
And
your
uncle?
technical- Yeah, like great uncle.
Himself is her godfather.
Fuck you.
I mean, in a technicality, in a sense, you could have considered himself and Great to be brothers. So I mean, great,
Grunkle.
Grunkle,
I was going to say that.
the Grunkle.
What do you guys
yes.
think of that reveal that technically Granum isn't a god?
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, given all the stories and what
Con-
Ket has literally
considering,
seen.
considering the divine essence of life isn't originally his.
Mm.
Well, and also given that isn't. It's a bit of a surprise, but also that makes sense. Given given Da Vinci has met Altia, Magisteria, and Granum, and probably Ignesia at some point.
No.
Probably not. I don't think so.
I mean, quite literally, in the memory, Ket saw the fact that Granum only took a very small portion of.
Still, yeah.
Thing with Ignesia is I think Da Vinci definitely has seen her, but I don't know if he's talked to her.
Yeah, like not talked to her, but seen. No,
He's
and
witnessed
that's
her.
more what I mean. That Magisteria and Altia both had very different, like both still incredibly powerful and godly, but it
Two
just
of them
kind of
dragged you to a separate dimension.
Yeah.
they both dragged him to a separate dimension.
Yeah, you got dragged to the plane of magic and then wherever Altia is currently right now. Our own little demi-plane.
Hmm.
I know we didn't ask Sky, but I think the only other technical god that might be considered a god would be Terrestra.
Maybe.
Maybe. Given what has been stated about the others, it's like, alright, they got their divine essence from somewhere else, and then a lot of the other kind of gods are like technical children of gods. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, we also know Grima is.
Yeah, Grima. But that makes sense. Grima is death. And himself is considered the god of life still.
So just more. Da Vinci kind of goes, okay, no, that actually does make sense. So given his previous experiences, and also I'm just thinking, what is Velchal thinking of all this? Okay, pretty guy showed up with a bunch of people saying that he was just a dancer and had a hobby of researching Altea. Is now here saying that he talked and made a promise to her while talking to a machine that encompasses this whole entire space.
You think she didn't cast detect thoughts on you?
I wonder if she, I assume Velshal is fairly intelligent, if she recognized what Keta was when she popped form.
Intelligent or just learned?
Yeah, well,
I'd like to think she might not like what goes through Failsy's mind.
boobs.
Depends
boobs.
on if she's on if she scrolled through all of us.
Also
Or-
reading Da Vinci because he was the one talking.
That that makes because the rest of us weren't really offering anything up.
And also Da Vinci was probably the most suspicious of them.
I mean, yes.
Yeah,
He's the most suspicious by far. Just look like adventurers. Da Vinci, assuming he's still wearing his dancer's garb entirely,
just looks
does
like
not
a
look like an adventurer.
No, he just
Heck,
looks like
even
a-
if he wore his other outfit, he would just look like some noble.
I'm back.
right.
I'm back.
All that's going through his
Everyone
failed eyes. I
returneth?
miss my wife.
I like to think that Failsy's thought patterns are schizophrenic, bouncing between boobs, murder, inquiries, solutions, more boobs.
Velshal cast attack thoughts and just snake tits, snake tits, snake tits, and Velshal just nope.
It's like, what happens if I dissect
Nodding,
that?
just like, very well.
Yeah, she's like, all right, fair enough.
I think we're all back.
If we are all back, we can continue.
Yes.
Yes, proceed with the lore dump.
Very well. So you all wish to hear what exactly? There are many stories on register. It's because I've been thinking about all of the potential things that this thing could say, and I don't remember exactly what you guys asked about when this break started.
Sorry.
Second time.
Yeah, the Da Vinci specified when Altea fell the second time.
Yes.
When she died.
Oh, it's gonna be so hard to do with a straight face. Yes. In Cocksucker and Ignesia.
Kata, why did you? No. What about
Did I change the designation back to Aquila? That caused a visual
visual?
reaction. Visceral.
It,
That's the word.
it's more that word is not.
It's an insult.
It's
but
one
it
that
was-
is.
It's
It's
applicable.
one that
but
is
it's not
intended to
a-
incite reaction.
Derogatory slur.
Yeah. Is very fitting then.
For the
I will
sake
use-
of taking the story more seriously, perhaps sticking with Aquila would be better.
Of course. Yes. That is the tale of how Aquila desired to wrench more power from his source of divine energy. He
Yes.
initially claimed his power through the use of the trident forged from our divine mother's flesh.
Oh, that's where he got it from.
Yes.
The story said that upstairs.
Did it?
Yeah.
It
Oh,
considered him a powerful fisherman.
Oh, it said he was a lowly fisherman.
He was a lowly fisherman who asked the contracts for a bit of the metal he carried with him, which is assumed the metal of India, and he made a trident.
What of that I heard? Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you're a hard robot.
Give me a second.
But yes,
Alright.
what was the intentions was to claim more of our Divine Mother's flesh, much as the goddess Ignesia, or the mortal given godly power Ignesia, used our Divine Mother's bones to create the chains to fully wrench the power from the Great Wing's flame.
Man, everyone wanted a piece of Altia. That's fucked.
He is a powerful being, a true god among mortals. To make assumptions, but many mortals like yourselves seek to claim divine essence.
No,
It takes divine power, wrench divine power.
I mean, I'd never say no to divine power.
why does that not
Indicate
surprise
that
me?
is definitely true. Yeah,
So what you're saying is that Ignesia and Aquila attacked Althea for more of her technical flesh?
yes. It was an assault performed under the guise of a military assault on another entity, being we simply have logged as corruption, that which killed or corrupted Magisteria. A sad day indeed.
Hmm.
Under the guise of this creature's assault on our keep, they approached us with offers of assistance, and then assaulted when our backs were turned. We should not have trusted them, but we did not know that we couldn't.
Are there
Unfortunately, yes,
are there any records of what this corruption might have looked like, or was it formless?
it was formless with form, constantly changing. You refer to it as corruption. I believe you mortals called it Corvanus.
Corvanus?
Yes, Corvanus, the great corruption.
That sounds
That entity that fell upon the world and sparked the advent of civilization, destroyed much of what previously remained.
Wait, I thought himself caused the spark of life to even come here. He said that he brought everyone here.
Did
It doesn't mean that
that is from a time long, long before the advent.
that
The
doesn't mean that this Corvanus couldn't have already been here.
Now,
And he-
Corvanus, much like our Blessed Mother, fell after the world was formed.
anyway,
Just to
Don't know if that makes
clarify, above game, Corvanus is the name that Morrigan...
That is the name of that creature you saw in the Arya's vision.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
yeah. I'm
That
like,
thing
did
is called
you guys not remember that?
that
I
thing is
remember
called
the name.
Corvanus the Eternal.
I don't remember the
Yeah.
name. I just remember Big Spooky Fuck Off Dragon.
No, it's also the egg we saw earlier.
I remember that. I just couldn't remember the name.
Hmm. So
Kata has no idea the name association, though. That's the thing.
No, neither would Grims. Oh no, wait.
Morgan
Yes,
told all of us, didn't
Yeah,
she?
never mind.
Yeah, she's told you all.
Kata has not heard it.
She told
It was kept
you.
away from. When? No one has told Kata
I
Well,
thought,
about
anyway.
the name.
I thought
anyways.
they did.
I
I think it might have been one of those things that was stated while Ketu was doing something
maybe.
else.
Hmm.
Anyways,
So
under the guise of assisting with an assault of that creature, They assaulted us, killed, or more accurately, aid the Great Mother. And when confronted by Grainum, struck him down.
And Granum probably forgot it. Forgot it.
Yes. Unfortunately, those divines, at this point, are nearly inseparable from the term God. This unfortunately means that they are far more powerful than Grainum.
Graydon never wanted to be a god, though. That's the thing. He just wanted to help his people, and now he's the punching bag of everyone.
Yep.
I believe the term is history is written by the
By the
winners.
History is written by the victors, and that's what made himself a villain. And
Keta.
The so Ignesia and Aquila took parts of her then for more power.
Just Aquila. Ignacio assisted him in our assault, but took no more, as she
So-
had already claimed her goal.
so they assassinated her, essentially, and then he took more so he could be considered the king of the gods.
I mean, that's kind of where it seems he got his power from in the first place.
Yes.
And we are powerless to stop this egomaniac.
We might be, but
Or not.
Oh, how are we not then?
By reaching this forge and delving deeper, you might unlock things that will allow us to recall the Great Mother's flesh and bone.
So you're.
He-
Sorry.
Will heed our call if I am strong enough.
Well, that's the point. That if we can get enough pieces of Altia's spark, we can possibly awaken her. And I mean, what's more powerful? What's more powerful than a god who's gone power crazy? Another god, right?
Maybe even two if we manage to release himself.
I mean,
And we free Magisteria from her insanity, it seems. We have three gods.
I would not recommend freeing Magisteria.
Yeah.
Was
At
an
that comment,
imprisonment her own creation.
at that comment, it's just like,
Well, I mean, we
she-
don't have to free her. We can still heal her.
maybe if we can get this strong enough to recall the fucking trident, it might weaken.
May weaken him, but that would also anger him greatly and put a target on all of our bets.
Felzy,
As
I know
is-
you're taking notes on all this, right?
Imagine Felzy looks up from a pen pad.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
What?
If you would
Is
desire,
there-
I may continue.
Yes, please.
Very well. It was not as simple as taking her flesh and using it. He crafted it into a great net to further seal being that now makes the land he stands and rules upon. Creature known as the Jezebeth, the land he walks upon,
So he
once
used,
a great elemental.
It's still alive.
so he used the trident to kill the thing and take its power.
No, he fell it without the trident.
Oh, no, fuck.
I thought it was Terrestra who killed it.
Oh. Estra still chases his divine spark.
Trestra's not a god? Or not, like, considered a god by the standards of Altea?
It is complicated. Estra and Venti are gods, but they still seek more power.
That's concerning.
Is a god of earth. He creates earth. But to this means he is disinterested with mortals. Venti is a god of wind. They are both originally not humanoid to our understanding.
But
They were
Alquilla,
forced into humanoid form.
but Alquilla, the god of water, and Ignesia, the god of fire, they were.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
I do not mean to cause you distress with this information.
It's not you, it's a lot to take in when you've been told one story your entire life and now you're figuring out the side of essentially losers in history, and it feels now that even if we complete this, we're going to be painting targets on our back, and I already have a big red target on my back.
Perhaps.
We have to. We'll take it one step at a time. We're not saying that we're gonna march up to Aquila's door and rip the trident out of his hands. We just go one step at a time.
Correct thing to do, perhaps, would be to cut the net holding forth the Jezebeth.
But that would destroy half the land and half the people that are there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we do not know the stories from before we walked this land. Save we're told. Spoke much with the being known that you refer to as
Himself. Are you Sky? Are you are you the place crafted after himself's great tree?
I am what is currently of it. No, I was one of the followers. Her steel children carried her heart to Grainham. He assisted us in constructing this forge to put her back together. Although she was, now that she was missing her parts.
Wait, you went to Himself's Grove. Where was that?
Allow me to search the database. Watch as a actual sort of holographic screen appears before you all.
She looks at Keta. Looks at. I'm sorry. This might be the only truthful place I can find.
No, that's why I haven't interrupted you asking these questions.
Highlights entire lower half of the continent of Grainham.
Oh God! And where was his heart? Where was the tree? The main tree.
Zooms in on the Emerald Plateau.
Oh God!
That
Oh.
That explains too much.
Oh God!
yeah, that explains what you tell us there, but
Oh god, I think I'm gonna. Okay.
Keta. Keta.
I do not mean to cause you.
It's another case of just it's information overload.
It's helping put the pieces together as well.
Mm,
It's painting a picture that I don't like, but I need to see.
Yes. This was the original location of the Tree of Life.
I
It was
born
cut.
on the-
It was cut down as part of the deal that created the font of Graynum.
I was
I
born
don't-
on the tree of. Oh god.
I don't know how
What?
much of that was an actual deal, or how much of it was.
I was born on the tree that sealed. Oh god, I hate this.
It
I
was-
hate this.
Kata?
I can tell you of the deal if you would like.
Yes, please.
Well,
Keta, it
wait.
said that it was cut down as part of the deal, so that's not.
This is seeming all too coincidental, to the fact that I don't like this, that I want to tear off my own fucking skin.
If you would like your skin removed, I can do that for you.
No.
No!
Keta, are you
Bigger
sure
speech.
you want? Hmm,
Oh, this is
You-
correct. Mortals cannot remove their outer plating without serious personal injury.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, I'm still working on a way of doing that.
Can
That's-
assist you?
That's
Chimes in
disturbing.
happily.
No, don't.
That's
It will not
disturbing,
remove-
but
It will not remove your skin
Javente,
unless requested.
if I am to find the font of Graynum and set himself free, I need to understand the story behind why the font was created, and I need to find the truth of what the fuck's going on, and nobody's gonna tell me.
I get that, but look how you're reacting right now. You're freaking out over every single thing that's being said.
He is
I'm sorry.
currently afflicted with some form of
Sorry.
some
You go
form
ahead.
of what?
poison. It appears to be
Well,
affecting her emotional state.
Kata, did you eat one of those candies?
yeah, Brimstone.
Earlier,
Don't
Which
wear off for like an
one?
hour.
The
she's lying to them, Ash.
I was telling you so you know
Yeah.
in case I forgot to tell you that before.
mm,
Lying to them, make a deception check. Cite you.
Forget, do I have advantage because it's Keta?
Yes. I have advantage on reading Keta. That does not mean you'll succeed though.
No, I know. Because I have a really bad insight. Oh,
No, her-
18.
I didn't see your roll
Inciting
pop
the-
up.
Inciting baby.
I would like
Actually,
to
not
as
insight.
well.
If you're gonna do it, roll the insight. So you all know.
Yeah,
That's an 11.
yeah.
Roll 20. Oh, okay, now it finally updated.
Yeah, so 17, since I have advantage, I have an 18, and then 11, 11, 11.
So, Brimstone, Keta's lying. You don't know what she's lying about, but she lied.
I already forgot what she said.
That's Brimstone.
that
You know she said a
Keta
lie
lying-
because her voice cracked a little bit.
Mhm.
mm, that Keta was saying that she had a candy a while ago.
Don't if Brimstone doesn't remember, hey.
I mean,
Hey,
Don't you
Brimstone.
weasel out of this.
I mean, if Brimstone would remember, it's me because I have a horrible memory.
The player
Anyway.
forgot, not the character.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's also perfectly in character for Brimstone to not be listening.
yeah. I mean,
Thinking right
there,
now.
there has been a lot of, but I mean, he has been actively listening because Keta's been freaking out.
So, probably didn't eat that a while ago.
And she's gonna kind of. Keta's actually gonna
In
get up
fact, you
back.
could still
Oh, sorry.
kind of see it rolling around in her mouth a little bit.
Keta's
Keta
actually-
spit that out.
She'll spit it out, but she's still gonna get up into Rich's face. I had to learn about what the fuck I am from a temple because nobody else would tell me. You don't get to tell me when I get to know stuff.
I am not a temple.
No, we
I'm
visited
not-
somewhere
I
else
live
and
in
you found out. Yeah.
Okay.
I had to confront by myself what I am and what they did previously. I think I can handle it.
Can you? You were a
Givenchy.
mess then, and you're being a mess now.
She's
She's gonna-
fucking 19, Dravinci.
She's gonna swing at Dorinci at this point. She might not hit, but she's that frustrated.
Okay.
Right. It would technically just be a strike check because you don't have proficiency with other
Yeah.
attacks.
Well, yeah, and then -1 because
14.
Yeah, because you don't.
yeah, 'cause it would be an attack, so 13.
Da Vinci is just trying to hold himself as calm and just dodging the fist by moving his head.
She wasn't going for it. She was actually going for she given the fact that she's shorter than you, she was probably going for your stomach.
So just belly rolling out of the way.
Yeah, it's Da Vinci. He can move any part of his anatomy out of the way he desires.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's a belly dancer, at least.
Oh yeah, he's got the dex for it. Anyways, sorry. Go ahead.
And how about
no.
how you're reacting right now?
Givenchy, please stop antagonizing her.
I'm sorry, weren't you crying like a little fucking bitch when you came out of the mountain of memory? But I didn't.
Yes, I was.
Nobody said shit to you. Last time I
What
checked,
the
you're
hell is
25
that?
fucking years old. You had a chance to live. I had.
I'm 30. First of all, and I was crying because painful bits of my past were brought up. But
No, she was talking to Javinci with that.
Yeah, not
I
anymore.
think that. Yeah, I think that was all Da Vinci.
what?
Yeah,
Got confused because Morrigan
Yeah,
had
no.
spoke before that outburst.
No, it's
Sorry.
I think everything is directed on Dravinci until she says otherwise.
Yeah.
Yes, because I got to see the moment my entire life got destroyed.
Yeah, you've had a life. I had it. I haven't had a life. You wanna know what my life has been this past 4 fucking months? I just turned 19, Da Vinci.
I'm not raising this as a question of your age. I'm not raising this as a question of your experiences. What I'm saying is that you are having a very large outburst upon what you're hearing, and I'm suggesting that you take a minute, calm yourself down, so that as we continue what we're hearing, we can actually get the full story and have time to reflect on it.
I wonder how you'd feel when you know that when you realize you were related to a god and then an actual god. And then the last 4 months have been an information dump of what you've had to do. I wonder how you'd emotionally handle that, Da Vinci. Because you know so fucking best.
I know if I were in your shoes, I probably wouldn't be handling it much better.
Kata, do you want to continue finding out what this is or not?
I do. I don't want Da
Okay.
Vinci to tell me what the fuck I can and can't do.
Okay. That's not what I was asking. It's a very stressful thing to understand. I can't imagine I'd feel much better. But right now, we can't be lashing out at one another like this.
She's gonna sit on the floor and look up at the ceiling and go, "Can you tell the story, please?"
Story of the deal?
Yes, please. And she's gonna have out a pen and paper.
Very well. I will recall it to the best of my knowledge. Thing I have is unfortunately second-hand. Are you?
Anything is fine at this point.
Doubt I didn't hear what you just said.
Anything is fine. Any information is fine at this point.
All right. Before it starts, how are things going?
Is that actually Lee?
Yes. Because an hour has passed.
Mm.
She's gonna respond to the sender and go, "Can't talk. Too busy. Out soon, hopefully. Love you. Bye."
Lee
All
somehow
best of
sends
all.
a mental picture.
The
Does
best
Kid have
of
to-
our.
Sorry.
Okay.
I was just wondering, does Keta have to physically speak into the
It's essentially you. It's essentially you hold up the stone to cast the spell, but the person who receives the other end of the spell doesn't have to hold. Just remember, it lets you cast the sending spell, which by extension lets the other person respond, and
Yeah.
then, but you can use the stone yourself to cast the spell.
Mhm.
Because I changed how these sending stones work. They
Yeah.
get 2 charges of sending.
I think what's being asked is, does Keta have to speak aloud to reply?
Oh, it works like the sending spell. Only the recipient hears the message.
Well, you actually see her counting out on her fingers, though.
Another
Even if
day.
she's talking in her head, she's counting on her fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Still spoke normal speed though, so he hears a super sped up version of it. A really slow version of it, I should say.
Yeah, because his is sped up.
It's just so just like, right?
Yeah.
Anyways,
And
any
how-
more questions before he starts?
I don't have any more questions.
Very well. To our understanding, this deal made in secret, we spoke to some of himself's followers to acquire the details of. Granum, to fell him, to appease the masses of his world, so that they would not hostilely take over the Feywild. While I believe it has come to be known as the Draic Empire, did no part of the War of the Advent.
Makes sense. Himself didn't want to get involved. Nature would take its course.
Yes.
So himself and Granum made a deal that Granum would take his power.
A small portion of it was a deal made in trusting that Granum would take only what he needed.
And
To
that
our
he-
understanding, he held up that deal.
To protect the
See?
Feywild.
I saw it in person. He only took what was needed.
Hmm.
What they did to
See?
himself to imprison him was still cruel. 1,000 iron spikes.
Yes, exactly enough to forever hold him in place, but never enough to kill him.
Hmm. See, your old man isn't so bad.
Dervenche, shut the fuck up.
Was the deal done consensually, or was it a deal
Done by
of,
force.
done by gunpoint?
Yeah, well, ballista point maybe.
is a deal that was struck between two close friends, knowing that their respective peoples never agree.
They did what had to be done.
This is why, in exchange, Raynham tore away a part of his own soul, create the font of Graynham,
So the
that
font
if
is
ever it was gifted to himself, this would mean that the deal was paid in full.
so if the font was to ever be uncovered and delivered to himself, that means the deal has been paid off.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, this is assumption on our part. It would appear that much of Graynham's pre-Advent memories were destroyed, for he was assert divines. He may not even remember making this deal.
From what I've seen in memory, Granum took what was needed after essentially neutralizing, I guess you could say, himself. Um, though the men he kept around him, they wanted to kill himself. They wanted to end the creature that they saw before him. But Granum refused. Um, After that, he was carted off, it seems. He's kept in a gilded prison. And, I mean, Tutila, the way she looks now is the result of Granum protecting her.
I wonder if that's also why
Yes,
they don't want you to
I have
find the
heard
font.
this name. The Tutila.
She,
Tutila Amor.
Hmm?
Protector of their bond. She who fell the tree of life.
makes sense, she has claws strong enough to do it.
Was gifted to her by Graynham.
As protection, I assume, with how those men wanted to hurt her.
How did
But
Graydon lose his memories? Was it from when Aquila attacked him?
Yes. When Aquila and Ignesia assaulted him, they allowed him. Back that up because I started talking without looking at my notes real quick. Sorry. When Aquila and Ignesia rendered him unconscious, they allowed him to be partially corrupted by Corvanus. Permanently damaged psyche, the ability to remember what they had done.
So you would think they was just attacked by Corvanus.
yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Wait, I have an idea. The font of Grinum is said to even bring the dead back to life. It's that
Yes.
powerful.
Could it
It
restore
was the one
memories?
true power he held.
Makes sense.
That's my thought. If we deliver the font to Granum and have him drink from it, it might restore a lot of his memories.
The only problem I'm seeing is trying to get it back out after that's done. I don't think Graynham would object to it. I think everybody else would.
I
Including
will say this. Font of Graynham, rather Graynham's touch, was able to heal physical malady. Corruption is not physical malady. It's a
It's a
corruption of a person's very being.
So we have to find a way to heal the corruption.
There is a way.
There's always a way to heal something.
We just haven't found it yet.
There's
Nate, you all seem like people guided by fate. Perhaps you will find it. It has brought you here to learn all of this. I do not believe any others could have made this trek.
Admittedly, that was A lot of my pushing for us to come here.
Sky, I have one last question for you.
Please ask.
And Kat is
Oh,
going to look
and-
directly at.
Designation Brimstone
Mm,
has been made.
mm. Just look to the center podium. Just. Mm.
I will release it after this question has been asked.
Kat, before she asks the question, Kat is going to look directly at Valshanga. I know you are a woman of knowledge, but I ask that this next possible information not leave this circle.
Seem to think some knowledge ever reaches the eyes of men. Most of it is kept secreted away in private.
Still, a lot of the information.
I will note it down for my personal research, but until such a time, I think I'll keep it to myself.
Sky, what do you know of the race of Sublucius? And when they fizzled out?
Ah, yes, the Sublucidus. Correlation between divine and infernal. Inherently a being born of chaos and corruption, but once able to withstand its injury. I assume you ask because you are one. Since the malady upon you.
I guess I can't hide it from some people.
Oh, is
You
that
are
why she
all
was
taught-
sick?
For all corruption.
What?
What?
All of you. Or at least aspects of you.
What do you?
Oh.
I do not know the individual causes, but I can sense a form of corruption upon each and every one of you.
Huh.
Yet
Only a
it
touch
does
of
not corrupt, and yet it does not corrupt your minds. This is interesting.
You said Sublucius were once able to withstand the corruption, I assume, of Corvanus?
Yes. Was a strange discovery made between a being known as Atarax.
Hmm.
Oh god.
That sound for
Cat
some reason threw my brain off.
I don't
Cat
think-
is gonna look at.
Yeah, like the only one who would know of any significance to that is Keta.
Yeah, Cat is gonna look at Brimstone with like the oh no kind of look on her face. What? Oh, so this creature Atarax
I
found.
believe I am pronouncing that correctly.
So this creature found that the Sublucius could withstand the corruption.
It was more the creature created Sublucidus.
Oh,
It was later discovered that Sublucidus, due to their chaotic nature, they are already attuned to corruption.
is it normal for Sublucius to explode?
Yes? If you are referring to the transformation, yes, it is when your very being, your soul, exceeds your physical form. That is what gives Seleucidus their. It can exist as a soul without form, yet
Of course.
retain their sanity.
I mean, if Corvanus could do it, and all Sublucidus have corruption inbuilt into them in some form, like
So that form that comes out is their soul?
Yes, it is their very being.
You have a very pretty spell, Keta.
So
I'm
my
just surprised it's not pink.
So my-
It is pink.
yeah, there is her horns
Oh.
and like her there's a lot of there's the
No,
the
no,
glowing
no.
elements are pink.
It was more just the whole thing.
Fair enough.
So my
is the epitome of your very being.
my soul is smoke, I guess. I have wings and horns and I think a tail.
I think
Is
that's probably just how it looks.
It's formless given form. I cannot
Uh,
explain the exact nature of it, as I was not privy to its creation. That is my understanding of the research logged of it.
So essentially, like Corvanus, I am formless given form.
At least, when you assume that it
I
is
can only.
also a bizarre trait that they are able to change back.
Yeah, I imagine most people who would explode like that wouldn't be coming back.
It,
No, they would die. It would be messy.
I mean, when I first exploded, it was on that island, and I was panicked, and I it felt like
To be
itching.
fair, we also didn't know you were going to come back. So,
Probably
I didn't.
heightened emotions triggered it. You
I
seem
would
to be getting
imagine.
more control over it.
I don't. It still feels like itching underneath my skin. It feels like when you bring that blade out, brimstone.
That
I
blade.
mean,
It thanks to my sensor.
oh, yeah.
Oh, I see. This for future reference.
I only ask Guy because what I am is what paints a target on my back. For some people, I've seen what they do to people like me. What happens if they capture them?
Yes. I believe you refer to the cult of Magisteria.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I always find this name ironic.
Why?
Magisteria is not the source of corruption in this world. So the fact that
Uh,
they worship her corruption is ironic to me. I believe I used the term correctly.
So Corvanus is the source of corruption then?
yeah.
Yes.
So technically, they are a cult of Corvanus rather than a cult of Magisteria properly.
Oh god, those poor souls.
Yeah. I'm not kidding.
Don't weep for them. They deserve death.
No, the poor souls that got shoved
Yeah,
together with their bodies mixed together.
I don't think she was talking about the worshippers.
Oh, yes.
You know what we saw.
Yeah, please don't remind me.
I don't want to remind myself. It's so burned in my memory.
Interesting.
Oh, what's interesting now?
For the
I was just reacting to what you guys were talking about.
Yeah, just without context. Just that's neat. Filing that away.
for the
It's recording everything you guys are saying.
Yeah,
For
much like I
Sky's
am for
sake?
VOD.
I was going to hold out a hand and press to digitate a little like statue of the creature.
Brimstone can actually minor illusion it.
I mean, either one works really.
Imagine Failsy makes a tiny figurine, then Brimstone just looks at it and minor illusions it's just like, mine's better.
Actually, Brimstone's would be worse.
I've never smelled death and decay so strong when it came straight up to my face.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's really not much in the room, Dervinche.
Well, this is really fucking coincidental bullshit that my parents end up in the Emerald Plateau. I end up born on the fucking tree of himself, and fuck, I barely even survived my first 3 years of life. This is
probably what that malady is. I'd imagine every sublucidus is born up.
I want to laugh, but I can't summon up the energy to laugh.
I can give you energy.
Please don't.
Taser folds out of the floor.
Please don't.
yeah. Cast haste on Keta.
Oh, just a straight up taser just like rises out of the floor as it says that.
No. I was just because that's what haste is for my artificer. It's just taser.
I guess that's the fact. I mean, the fact that I even survived the first 3 years of my life and mom even survived giving birth to me is probably due to the fact of where we settled down.
Yeah, she never was quite as powerful afterwards. I mean, before being around her made my skin kind of hurt. Doesn't really do that much unless she's mad.
Yeah.
Kat, are you satisfied with the answers you've gotten?
I mean, I have no other choice to be okay with it.
I mean,
I'm processing.
Did you get
I mean-
as much as you wanted to get while here?
The only other answers that I need are coming from Graydon himself.
We don't even know if he's got those answers until his memory's back. But I don't know when you want to ask. Maybe he does.
Keta kind of like looks very sad and just I just want Lee.
Well, we know how
Okay.
to get out now, so let's finish up here and we'll leave, okay?
Okay.
I have a question, though.
Please ask. Your item is waiting.
When you say that the creature Ataraxes built or created the sublucidus, what do you...
To our understandings, the being known as Ataraxes. Thank you for correcting our designation. The being known as Ataraxes had a tinkering and experimentation, similar to how we did with ourselves, though his was with souls and flesh of mortals. And interesting school of thought. He wondered if divine and infernal blood could mix, and for many generations came with no result. He was able to create the first sublucidus for a long pact and a binded soul.
Do you know what
Not
divine
necessarily
heritage
agree with
first-
his methods, though.
Do you know what divine heritage the first one came from?
First came from Agnesia.
I mean,
To our
final
understanding, it was one of her Azamar that was captured by Ataraxes and tortured. As we said, we do not agree. They are messy.
Do you know the name of that Azamar?
Yeah.
Allow me to check my database.
You thinking it's her?
I hope not, but it probably is. It would be just too neat and convenient. And
Would be.
given everything else we've learned while here, that'd be far too fitting.
Is it bad to say I hate myself even more now?
You got a lot of information sent to you. It takes time to process it.
The sins
No,
of your heritage are not yours.
No, she's looking directly at Brimstone when she says that.
I'm sorry for the wait. I found the name. Velta.
What was the name?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Velta.
Let's
So-
check that out.
Okay, that's a different name.
studied the creation of armor and other methods of preventing damage. Armorsmith.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, she was captured.
Do you know if she's still alive?
Most definitely not.
Most
It was a
sublutionists,
very long time ago.
and besides, most sublutionists are dead anyway.
She has been reborn, I do not know. But I know for certain that she is no longer alive.
Would you be able to write down the name in chat?
VELTA.
It's spelled exactly like it sounds.
Oh, Revelta. Okay.
Okay, there's an R in there because
Revelta.
Yeah, I did not hear the first syllable.
Sorry about that. My microphone doesn't like to pick me up immediately.
It's,
Oh,
it's
my spine!
Ugh,
Don't
don't push
move
yourself.
Just adjusted in my chair to get more comfortable.
Yeah,
It was the opposite of comfort.
Oh, I believe it.
The
And she was the Asmar of reflection.
That's
Not
funny.
in the sense of reflection, like looking
Right.
back at things, but like
Yeah,
bouncing
yeah.
stuff off.
Yeah. Not in the sense of reflecting on self or reflection via mirrors. The sense of reflection via warding.
Basically, the no you bap.
Basically, yeah. What
It was
else do
her
you know?
natural resistance that permitted the creation of the first Sublucidus. Who requested information of me. I'm sorry.
No, it's I just thought I was going to hear a different name. I don't know if I'm relieved or disheartened hearing a separate one from what I thought I would hear.
What else do you know about Araxis?
Record of different experimentation that if I were to read them off, it would likely take at least upwards
How long-
of 12 hours.
Oh, we
We
don't
we don't have that amount of
We have-
time.
We don't have the time for that.
Not right now. Perhaps coming back at a later time we would.
I mean, Brimstone, you already know he's shitty.
Yeah, but I want to know one. I want to know something else.
If you would like specifics, you can ask, though I cannot guarantee I have answers. As I have said, I only have the information I have been provided. And even then, my database is not complete. Much of the exploits of Ataraxes is not even contained on this level.
Is it in here somewhere?
If we have more, it's likely on lower levels. As it was more delicate information.
I mean, do you know what he is? Besides just a creature?
I believe one would refer to him as a demon, or a devil, or truth, something beyond.
What I heard was demon, devil, or Ruth.
Hmm.
A demon, a devil, or perhaps something beyond.
Yeah, I heard Ruth for some reason. I don't know how.
Or Ruth.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Andy, can you still hear us? Because you dropped out of the game.
Her computer probably crashed again.
He died.
She's muted right now, so.
Crap.
I didn't do it.
I can hear you guys. It's just it did a thing again when I went to go move it.
Okay.
Okay. Brimstone, you said you had one more question?
Do you know if Ataraxi's had any children? Dead silence.
It would appear that the first
Sorry.
Sublucidus
Sorry, you cut out there.
it would appear that he had several. The first the first we have any knowledge of. As far as our database can recall, often killed his own children in favor of stealing from them the power they create.
When would he kill them?
Results vary at different stages of life, strength, and it would seem usefulness to his cause. Why do you ask? This is rather strange information to request, given the current circumstance.
I got one more question before I'll tell you that.
You do not need to tell me. Suppose I would just be curious. But please, a long time since I've been able to talk this much.
In each of his children's lives, was there a record of him tormenting them before he killed them?
Unfortunately, I do not have that information. Given his practices with experiments, and he often referred to children as experiments, I can only extrapolate that yes, he likely performed many vile acts upon them in order to discover the extent of their power.
Of course he would.
I mean, he was willing to tear his soul from the body to try to find out if it could still survive and shit like that.
Yeah. I don't know what's more distressing, the fact that I'm not the first, or the fact that I don't have much else to look forward to.
You are one of his children?
Unfortunately.
Oh. Congratulations on being the oldest.
I would say the most concerning thing is the fact that my race is a result of him experimenting. And I am nothing more than the product of a mad creature's tinkering with a soul.
Mad would imply that he doesn't know what he's doing. He knows exactly.
You also seem to assume that he had any role in you, since upon you.
Who is that directed towards?
King, that's directed towards Kata.
Okay.
Captain's just looking at Brimstone and in a weird roundabout way he is.
I'm just Da Vinci hearing that Ataraxis is Brimstone's father just doesn't say anything but mouths wow. Like just fuck.
As I said, you are all rather interesting.
So I'm the oldest one.
Yes. Most of his children he harvested before the age of 20. You are considerably older than that. I believe the oldest had reached into their late 30s but you far exceed this. This is curious.
Is it possible he still has some plans?
It's not possible.
It's probable.
It ain't even probable. He's
Maybe
planning
he's-
something.
Maybe he's just aging Brimstone like some fine
God, he must have been a charismatic bastard to even have kids.
I'm sorry, Failsy, what? I can't hear over the fan.
It's like maybe he's just aging Brimstone like some fine wine.
It would be the sort to drink a person.
I don't even want to think about that.
Perhaps. Anyways, your item is completed, and you said that was your final question.
Yeah.
And I sense a great tension in your allies and a desire to depart. Do not wish to see you go, but I understand that you must have pressing matters.
I'm sure we'll be back.
I look forward to seeing you.
Do you like the name Sky? I can write you a song for next time we're here.
It is an interesting name. I am not sure if it's entirely fitting. I appreciate the designation. I would love to hear your music, even though you denied listening to mine.
I'll bring you back a song of your people.
Thank you. Stone, if you would please, step forward and claim your item.
Yeah. Let's do that.
You step forward?
Yep.
Alright. Walking up to the forge, hourglass lowers in front of you. And you watch as the glass sort of... It's a bribe, but sort of like the cube from the original Transformers movie, where it just sort of sectionally folds into itself.
Mm-hmm.
And you just watch as a revolver, 6 bullets, floats out in front of you.
Oh. So a revolver with six bullets. Got it.
They're sort of floating around it, sort of circling it like it has a gravitational pull.
Mm-hmm. Kind of take the revolver. Hold his hand under where the bullets were floating in case they fall.
As you reach towards it, you watch as the revolver spins around so the handle is facing you. The chamber opens, the 6 bullets slot into it. It closes and drops into your hand.
If I didn't know it was, I'd almost assume it was made for me.
It was made for you.
That's what I was. Yes.
This is a weapon forged for you by the divine spark of a god. You may name it, or I may tell you the name that it is logged with.
Let's hear what you got. I might have some ideas to change it after.
It is registered with a number, though Altia has given it a name. She refers to it as, per the requirement you desire it for, repent.
Hmm. Fair enough.
And she has given you but one warning. It has 6 shots. Use them wisely.
Fair enough.
This is all?
Yeah. You said the observatory, I think it was.
The
takes
bell
us out?
The
tower.
bell tower.
Yes,
Hmm.
sorry.
Bell tower. I will call the lift for you.
I do have one more thing.
You may ask why I am calling the lift.
Da Vinci is just gonna walk up to the forge after Brimstone leaves and hold out the pocket watch or the timepiece of travel. This this was given to me a long time ago by my mentor, and it has since been reconstructed by Altia herself. But it appears to have been modified by someone not that of a construct. Is it possible for you to analyze this and see what the modifications have done to it?
I can for me.
Sorry?
I can see as I see it before me. It's made to allow one to freely walk upon the land. Single stride. Was made as a gift of Altia's followers. Changed. Seen beautiful hands touched it. They are not perfect. Understood the essence of her heartstone. It drew forth its ability, her divine essence, manipulate the very flow of time.
Yes, it can be used to stop time for a while.
That is what was done to it. Seems it must have been damaged when they found it, and that was the ability they were able to harvest from it. I'm surprised they did anything at all. That must have truly been a master craftsman.
Is it possible for this to be repaired any further?
It appears to both be its original state and its modified state at once. You said that Altia herself touched once more, but for
Yes.
both past and present to exist simultaneously.
Hmm.
It was originally made, and how it has been created now.
I
Is
see.
truly great at her craft, even in her damaged state.
She is. Is there anything that can be done for her right now as we're here?
might think her dead or destroyed. She is not. Her divine essence is still strong. Her body was taken from her. Her divine spark was not touched. She is not like other gods, unfortunately. Her body cannot simply regenerate. It must be repaired. It was her burden for being so powerful in her craft. It has made her truly undying.
What is needed to repair her?
Reclamation of her flesh and bones.
In other words, stuff like my watch and Fenris. Is that correct?
Yes. Along with Trident, chains that bind the sky.
Sorry, you cut out after chains that bind the sky.
All of those things.
The watch directed me to this place to help bring her pieces back together. Will it continue to point? Do you know if it will continue to point here, or will it point to another location where pieces of her might be found?
If they are strong enough, should.
So to bring back
Location
the
at somewhere it should not point.
Sorry? Edge, could you repeat that?
We'll mark this location as somewhere it
Well, that gives me at least some direction.
So to bring back a
Because-
god, do you mean to destroy a lot of people's lives?
material required is not a rare one.
Wait. Would
Prime.
the material happen to be primum?
No.
Oh.
Tia is not made of primum.
Meteorites?
Or is she made of the metal that or is she made of the metal of reverberation?
No.
But not godly in nature. Made of the same material, back where she came from. Not want to return to her flesh and bones. Perhaps, in the future, enter
Find a way to
more flesh and bones.
bring the material back. She came.
If
I unfortunately do not have the ability to send you there.
so, if we are able to bring this material back, we could potentially bring back her power without.
Without uprooting your world.
Hmm.
Lift has arrived.
Thank you, Sky.
I do not know what you were thanking me for,
Your assistance
or why
and
I
everything.
require. You are welcome.
So are we gonna have to go through all that stuff up top to get back down here, or are we just gonna be able to take the bell tower down?
Now that you have completed the first level, you will be allowed to return to the lift.
Who?
Recognize you as people who can continue forth.
So once we've cleared a level, it will be recognized as having cleared that level then.
Yes, it will allow me more access to allow further exploration.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you think that could be of help to us here, or anything that would be good if we could bring back from the outside world?
I could answer that question, but I believe the turn of phrase there is a broken record.
Fair.
That's
I can
gotta
tell
do.
you one location of interest I know of.
Certainly.
I believe you all refer to the location as Kingfisher Isle.
Please
Yeah.
tell me we don't
Yeah.
have to go back there.
Not contain more of her body. I do sense the presence of another of her kind on that island.
That's where we got the soul gear
Wait, there's
that Fenris is.
Tia?
She is one of a race, but she is the god of that race.
Is
Fortunately, I do not name in my logs.
So
Well,
there's a construct there. Most likely making the other ones there.
her race is distinct from you and your kind?
Oh, yes. We are her children, not her kind.
Oh, okay.
well, that does answer a suspicion I had.
And seems like we're gonna have to go back there eventually. Maybe whoever this is might have some more insight on how to help out.
Alright then.
Maybe they'll know.
And if worst comes to worst, well, there's a lot of premium there.
I mean, yeah, but that doesn't really help us with Altea.
No, but it does help us with trade.
Yes, and I would like to go sleep with my boyfriend. Please, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Chad, it's only been like 5 hours. Are you that thirsty?
It's been 5 days.
Outside of here, it's been 5 days, Halsey.
More than that now.
Yeah, probably closer to 5.5 or 6.
It's at least 7 now.
Oh,
God.
shit. Fair. Yeah, we spent a long time asking
Yeah, we
for
need to get out of
information.
here, please.
Please, I would like to go fuck.
You're gonna finish that sentence there.
Heard it cut off, and all I heard is I want to go fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what.
yeah, I heard that too. Just like, gonna finish that? Gonna go fuck?
If Dervinche does that, she'll look at him and go, talk to me like that again, and I will gut you where you stand.
I
Sit on
was
the lift.
joking out of character.
I said if he said it in character.
Okay. Well, anyways,
Anyway,
back to the left, back outside.
yes, please.
So Ketek and Koala on leave for 3 days.
Alright then.
Get to lift
I
and
assume your
stay
location would be the
out.
bell tower.
If that's the way
Yeah.
out, then yeah.
Very well. On our way.
It suddenly starts lurching in another direction.
Oh,
It's like almost going straight up.
Keta has already like balled herself down, just like in preparation for like if they just go bolting up.
Keta's just
It just goes straight up. As you guys are going up, Catchy, you just hear.
Wait, what did he say?
He said, Keta, this is taking a while.
Oh. Please.
It really sucks. come back in here another time, and it's like 1 day is a year.
Oh, there's not that big of a time dilation here.
Maybe 1 day equals, or 1 hour equals 1 week.
Trust me, Lee. I know. I miss you so much.
It'd be funny if all layout back was just a very drawn out whining sound from Kenta.
Alright.
Lee just nodding sagely. Yeah.
It takes about the rest of what it would have been that hour, so about another 10 minutes before the lift stops again. Location, bell tower. Please proceed. And do not be alarmed.
All right.
What's in here that's going to be a long one?
Da Vinci will take lead on this.
You all walk forward, proceed to enter what can only be described as a room covered in constantly ticking gears. And a single entity standing in this room, which is about a 40-foot tall giant that is similarly covered in ticking gears.
40-foot tall giant. What?
Is
Suit of armor.
Oh, suit of armor. Okay.
okay. So this isn't familiar.
Oh, you guys have never seen this thing before.
Well,
But
no,
to one of you, it's slightly familiar.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the construction of it is similar.
It's
Failsy.
Oh.
Failsy, you recognize this thing as being a regalia. You've all seen regalia, they're not usually this big.
I was gonna ask, is it if it was similar to the regalia Keta saw in her vision?
Kind of.
It's just
Mhm.
that's a big fucking suit of armor.
I've never seen a regalia this big.
Hello. It
Hi.
bends down towards you all.
Hello.
Do you have a designation?
Hi.
Mr. Snuggums.
That's what you've given me.
Oh, hi, Sky! She's gonna stick it. Keta's gonna stick out a hand.
It reaches its hand down to meet your... I assume you said stick it out, so I assume like a handshake?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Its hand wraps around you.
Yeah, just Keta. It's probably as big as any of us.
Huh.
One of its fingers is the size of you.
Yeah. Exactly.
You
Of
know,
all
I think
the
the name
things to
still
supp-
fits.
Of all the things to surprise me today.
Comparing by
Yes.
size, how big is this compared to the flame regalia?
To the molten regalia, it's the same size.
Oh, okay.
Seeing it move is terrifying because it's very much like seeing Lady Voltolia move. Every single motion like whips up a current of wind.
So it's terrifying for all of us, but fails.
Probably.
Because fails is just.
Yeah, I still like the name Sky.
Yes. This body is referred to as the Bell Tower Regalia. It is something that she made, much as she made many of the regalia.
Ooh. Good.
Are you inside this, or are you a part of this?
I think
Is
she
a part of me.
It's all well and good, but now that we're here, how are we supposed to get out of here?
It lowers its hand down to you all. The hand that has Keta in it.
Keta actually hugs the arm, hugs the wrist, I guess. Before we go, Dad.
Of the fingers curls up and pats your back.
Just hop onto the palm.
Yeah.
All right, I ask that you hold on, though not to a moving component.
So don't hold on to each other.
Addict off. No, do not hold on to the gears that make up the main armor plating.
Yeah.
Surface of the palm and the fingers should be fine, though.
All right.
Alright.
Keta's gonna hold on.
Yeah, you guys just if you look at like the effectively this thing has bracers closest to you of its of its other metal components. The surface of them are made of a bunch of to its size tiny, but to each one of you is like 6 inches across gears that are constantly turning.
Fair enough.
The whole regalia's armor is like spiky as the gears like interlock into each other. Definitely feel like if you touched it or grabbed it, you'd probably get torn to pieces.
Yeah. Katya's just gonna batten down and brace herself.
It lifts its hand up, takes a step backwards, and you all hear a its back just clicks into the clockwork of the tower, and it starts raising.
Oh wow!
Ah, this is so cool.
The entire construction of the Kronos Labyrinth is an extension of this form. It can be constructed out of any portion of the Kronos Labyrinth. If you all had been intruders with the intent of causing harm, I would have dealt with you swiftly.
Yeah. I can imagine.
You all suddenly get the vision of this thing just appearing out of a wall.
You know, the doors are very hard to open. I almost popped my arm out of the socket trying to open up the doors.
As a test,
You're
perhaps
strong.
you should acquire more muscles.
I've
Maybe
been told that plenty of times.
Maybe next time we're not stressful time, we can bring Land.
That answer has the same kind of energy of have you ever thought of just geek good?
I mean, you're talking to a robot.
Yeah.
I know.
Throughout all this trip being taken up, Muddigan's just kind of like sitting as still as she can on this thing's palm, just trying her best not to freak the fuck out.
Actually, as they're going down, Keta will start playing music for Sky.
So, despite how you constantly are hearing this like gear ticking noise, it is a surprisingly smooth ride up. It's like alarming how much you're moving, but you all are remaining perfectly motionless. Eventually, it stops at the top of the bell tower. You see what looks like a massive clock face that it slowly pushes you towards. One of the glass panels of the clock's face opens up, and its hand just scoots you out into the open air.
Oh,
are we
God!
Are we falling?
It doesn't drop you, it just like pushes you out through the front of the clock.
Okay.
Look.
If you look beside all of you, there is a device that will be very helpful in your leaving of the tower.
Look at what it is.
Yes.
It looks like a rod with. It's not an immovable rod. I'll say that much. That appeared next, one of them next to each of you, and it has a bunch of small buttons along it.
Huh.
How do we
He's
use
doing
it?
them.
Oh, sorry.
Just said, please take them.
Alright.
Yeah, Da Vinci's just gonna grab
Yeah.
it. So,
Grab.
how did this work? How does this work?
All right, goodbye.
Oh, crud.
Wait, what?
The hand flings you forward.
What the fuck?
Screaming.
Quickly
Right.
push buttons.
Question.
And as you guys are flying forward and you like spin around back towards the tower, you just see the hand waving as you're disappearing into the distance.
Bye, Sky!
Mhm. Just matching buttons.
It has 3 buttons on it, by the way.
Alright. Do they have labeling?
They have colors.
Oh god.
One of them is
Not
blue,
Gary,
one of
just
them is green, one of them is red.
Just
Yes. Good.
pushing a button at random.
Hitting green
Alright.
button.
All right, Failsy, you hit the green button. By the way, you all hit independently or not according to the other ones. So, Failsy, you hit the green button. What is everyone else hitting?
Cat is gonna press the blue button.
Red.
You're gonna press blue. Red.
I'll do red too.
All right. Vinci?
Jurencho was hitting
Uh,
randomly, so I guess roll a d6.
Let me just roll just a random d6. You said the order was blue, green, red?
Yeah.
Okay, he randomly pushes the red button.
All right.
3 of us are pushing red.
If you pushed the green button, a further rod suddenly folds out of the device, and a large paraglider fan appears above you.
Oh, nice.
Let's Cat to get blue.
I don't know how to write this.
I mean, it's pretty intuitive considering you're just holding on to, and suddenly you're not falling. You're just sort of gliding gently. So, as you push the green button, or has anyone pushed the green button?
Cat to push the blue.
Oh wait, can't push the blue button. All right,
Yeah. Fails to
with
push
the
green
blue.
because green.
Fair enough. I'm just going to go over the green button because that was.
The blue one.
Blue.
Blue button.
I'm dying. I'm dying. All right. As you push the blue button, just this immediately.
What immediately?
Stop in place immediately.
So you're just hanging there.
But you're not hanging there. It's not like you're like hanging off the rod. Like your whole body just stops.
Oh,
Time stop, but it's your body.
Yeah, just dead momentum. So you're just hanging there.
And if you push the red button, you suddenly reverse momentum.
Aww.
Great.
What?
What the
So,
heck?
so we start flying back up reverse trajectory.
It's not like you immediately up momentum go the other way. It's like your momentum starts to decrease,
Oh,
and then you start. It's almost like gravity starts working on you in reverse.
Oh god, it's
okay.
like Patima inverted.
It's like you were going outwards in an arc, and then suddenly, as you're finishing that arc, you start doing a backwards arc.
Uh-huh.
Can Cat press another button, or is she just completely frozen?
When you let go of the button, you start falling straight down.
Green. If I saw a Failsy, it's green.
No idea what button fails he hit. You guys are flying through the air right now. This music
What?
is not fitting.
Okay. I mean, I have
If
two
you-
other choices.
If you hit green again, folds down to a paraglider.
Okay.
So as far as photos goes, everyone else just disappeared.
Hmm.
Except for Keta, who's just there.
But yeah, you see Keta in the distance,
From
who
Fail's
now has a
perspective,
paraglider.
everyone else stopped, like descending with her.
Well,
So
well,
everyone-
Oh,
Gradual.
technically, Brimstone and Dravince still kept with you. They just are still falling, and they're slowly like falling forward. He's acting really weird on.
Keta's just gonna start screaming for Lee.
yeah, just let go of the red.
As you let go of it, your momentum goes back to normal. Like
Okay,
gravity goes back to normal.
So does it still do the slow down and then going back, or is it like an instantaneous jump?
I'll say this. Essentially, the blue button reverses gravity. The green button makes a paraglider.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that again? You cut out on my end.
Blue button seems to stop your momentum instantly in a way that doesn't kill you.
Yeah.
The red button reverses the effect of gravity on your person. Green button makes a paraglider.
Oh, okay. So as we were falling, we suddenly started flying upwards, and as we keep letting go and pressing and releasing the button, we're just going up and down in a wavy line
Eventually, your forward momentum stops, and you're just going like up and down in a straight line. But yeah,
Okay. Hit green.
paraglider.
Just start.
I imagine Da Vinci would ride that out until all forward momentum was gone, just wee 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 like a roller
It feels
coaster.
really fucking weird.
Can Keta cast Thaumaturgy on herself and just yell for Lee?
Yes, though you get no response.
Mulligan, like, she'd probably eventually, like, through pressing different buttons, figure out the green one.
At this point, you all, at various different levels, are just paragliding around. Seems weirdly intuitive. It's just as you turn your body, the whole thing turns.
So
I'm
we should
keeping this
probably
thing.
turn around back towards where the caravan is.
Yeah.
Probably.
I can hear you.
And you just look at, you guys look in the distance, and you're like, "Where's Velshaw?"
Oh god, did we lose Velshaw?
Where? Yeah, where did she go?
Did she somehow
Don't see
stay
her
behind?
anywhere.
That's not to ask.
What would be a check to figure out if she stayed? She managed to stay
Perception?
with the thing. Perception.
She was with you guys flying through the air, but as you guys started messing around with buttons, you lost sight
She's
of her.
not.
My perception is shut. So
What if she just decided not to push a button?
well, then she did. Yeah, I have no idea where she is. 7. Yep, she did.
You asked for.
You guys are slowly heading towards the ground, as that's how paragliders work.
Yeah.
Are we able to turn ourselves around at least?
Yes, it's a paraglider. It works exactly like a paraglider. As you tilt and turn your body, the whole thing turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, Da Vinci said like we should turn around to make sure that we land near the base of the tower.
For the few of you who have flown or by your nature understand air currents, it's pretty intuitive. Brimstone and Mutagun, it's really bizarre to get used to.
Kat's is fairly used to this. She's just used to also having to fucking propel herself with wings.
Mulligan's,
that's
like,
what.
once
Same
again,
here.
doing her best not to freak the fuck out.
It gets really terrifying when at one point you accidentally make a turn downwards and you start going really fast.
Oh, she would scream at that before she somehow pulls herself out of it.
Just keep looking forward. Constant pace.
You actually
Want to make sure that the wind catches underneath it.
When we
as
get
you're
to
falling forwards, I'm guessing one of the things you intuitively do is just hit the blue button, which makes you stop. Motorgun discovers you can push multiple buttons at the same time.
Now I picture, just because Da Vinci is a show off, that he's gonna start trying to do like paragliding tricks.
I imagine. Which, by the way, the paraglider, even if you let go of the green button, doesn't disappear.
Oh, good to know.
know.
It stays depressed unless you hit it again.
If Keta can manage to get the sending stone out because she still has her charge on it,
Can.
Lee, we're flying. Please come. Wait at the bottom of the tower.
Wait,
Ah!
Oh
When we
hey,
get-
you're not. Oh hey, you're not super slow anymore. I'm still here. How are you flying?
wait.
I like to imagine he just looks off at the distance and sees the rest of us like, what the fuck?
It's a few minutes later. Which, by the way, you guys, if I remember rightly, came in here like in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
At this, it's like early It's you came out of here. It actually is around the same time.
We.
Out on an hour mark. Yeah.
We.
A little bit later, if not. It's almost as if no time passed, or regular time passed, because it's a little bit later.
I still picture Da Vinci just zipping around the group. Just occasionally they hear we.
Fucking show
And that's-
off!
Cat is just
The
gonna
vent down to the cart.
the second we're at the cart, she's running into Lee's arms.
Lee is just standing there. He's just waiting. Has a cake. Just like a birthday cake in front of him.
I like to imagine
He's
Mulligan lands none
something.
too gracefully.
Into the or the sand rather. Yeah, he's just like vibrating and bouncing up and down with a full-on like cake in front of him, and Osnig is beside him with a slightly smaller cake.
Slightly smaller. There's just bites taken out of it.
Yeah, the second Keta tumbles into the sand, she is up and running.
Yeah, she just pops up.
He starts like crab walking forward towards you with the cake.
I baked you a cake because I missed you.
Glad to see you all back. Have a cake. Cake. Eat it.
Yeah. Good, you all brought ketchup back.
Velshaw told me that you got your back. Velshaw is just standing off to the side of your cart.
It's good.
How the hells did you get
Right.
down here so fast?
Oh, I just let myself fall and then I stopped myself.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah,
I've done this before.
That's fair.
Keta's just gonna pull Leon for a full-on kiss.
He's just like holding the cake over his head so he doesn't smash it on you.
Yeah. I miss
Do we get to keep these?
Yes, you get to keep them, but until charge. Honestly, think it would give its charge back. I guess going in that place recharges them.
So it doesn't do anything, do you?
Yes, but don't lose it, because if you do, I don't know if they'll give you another one. Didn't give me another one, so I'm glad I have this one still on.
You're still safe, Lee. I thought something bad might have happened.
I killed some wolves and a bunch of snails.
That's good. You're still
Cow. It's a desert cow.
safe. Desert cat. I don't care. I don't care the explanation of it.
It had like big horns, and Arsenic blew it off.
Brimstone just looks at Osnick.
Thumbs up.
He currently is shoving that whole cake into his
Yeah.
mouth, and he looks over at you and holds up a while still shoving the cake into his face slowly.
Hold up a what?
An acorn grenade.
Let me see that.
Lee, once we
You-
find a private bedroom, I would like to spend some time with you.
He looks around at everyone.
There's no
Again, I
private
don't-
bedrooms.
No, I said once. I don't think they want to hear that.
I really don't.
I pictured Da Vinci still in the air. He's using the gust cantrip to keep him flying in the air.
I mean, you could just reverse gravity as well.
That's also true. He's just floating all the way back to where he got launched, and
Da Vinci, come on!
You start hearing as you're like continuing doing it. You do start hearing a sound from it.
He'll just suddenly nosedive straight down, and then catch himself kind of last second gliding across the sand before deactivating it and using the momentum to bring himself into a tumble. Oh, that's exhilarating.
Very fun. I wish I could figure out how to make them repower outside of that place.
No. We're safe, we're alive, we didn't die. I got to come back to Lee.
It has been
7 days.
She just like koala'd on him, and he's just like, cake.
days. Days?
I thought it was 7.
No, it's like the 8th day since you guys left.
I'm sorry
Oh,
we left you
shit.
for so long.
How much time do we have left, guys?
I think still about 3-ish weeks.
Well, still another week at least.
It got a while.
Okay, okay.
There's like that thing you guys set up. You call the calendar.
Yeah.
I've been checking off days.
Okay,
Let's
that's
go
great.
Let's go take a look at that and then figure out what we're doing. And get out of this sun.
Have you gotten a tan? Is it possible for me to get the tan, Lee? You look darker.
I've got a little bit of a tan. So, he like blushes.
Although it's more of a dark green.
Time might be a little off.
Oh no, you look very handsome.
He like sets, as you guys go inside, he sets the cake down and then slightly pulls his pants down.
You're
You
recording
just see
really
like a dark green line. Sets the cake down, and then when it's just you and him off in the kitchen, he like slightly pulls his pants down like his like thigh is on the side. You just see a very like distinct bright green, dark green line.
You have to just take in a deep breath. Looks nice on you.
It's just a little it stands out.
as Brimstone is just inspecting the little acorn grenade.
I say so.
Just figured I'd let you know, so you didn't think I was like suffering that pale thing again.
Well, at least as long as you're not like hurt or anything, and I mean, as long as you don't walk around pantsless, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I didn't walk around pantsless.
Lee, did you walk around? Oh my god! Wait!
There was no one around except for Osnick, and he doesn't care about pants.
Given what she knows about Lee's anatomy, does it look like it? Does it look like just an outline?
Not gonna say that on stream.
Yeah, it's not really a question for public knowledge.
It's good Christian stream.
We'll discuss about it later.
That can be for once the
Alright.
stream ends to discuss.
Okay, because that's the first thing that came to mind.
God.
Yes.
You guys go and look at your calendar.
Mm-hmm.
You are 1 day less, 2 weeks out.
Okay.
Yep, so we have 11 days.
We still have a good amount of time.
We still have
Oh,
some time
and-
to be able to use for the traveling by the cart, and then if we're getting it close, we can just... Well,
Well,
Sorry, moving you guys back over to the world.
we're going to have to teleport. There's no way we can make it there in 2 weeks.
but we can at least cover quite a bit of distance in the distance, sorry. Getting tongue-tied.
Hmm.
We can
Well,
How long did it take for us to get here from the Emerald Plateau?
it took us almost a week, a few days to get to the desert, and then getting through the desert itself took about 4 or 5 days.
Oh yeah, that's because Galadriel can't run on. Standish fast, I think.
When you all asked Galadriel about this before, he told you to get from where you guys currently are to Fellhaven would take at least 2 weeks. And you have less than 2 weeks now.
Right.
Yeah,
So it's a matter of we might be able to get to the Emerald Plateau, but we're gonna have to teleport from there.
Alright, knowing what we know, probably wouldn't hurt to travel via the cart for a bit. Because I know Failsy's got a project going, and it'd probably be easier for her to work on that while we take a bit of a slow route to start with.
We can either continue traversing the desert or go back to the Emerald Plateau and teleport from there, or loop our way around back to the Zamodus Temple and teleport from there, so we would be going from Valehaven probably straight to Tezverel. What is it, Lee?
Why do you guys need to go to Tezverel again?
To get the child to safety.
Vivian said that the person that we need to rescue would probably be safest in Tezverel.
Oh, okay.
Are you not?
Sorry, it's been a while since you guys have talked about this.
I was gonna say,
I
are
don't-
you not like allowed in Tezrael?
I don't know.
As someone who grew up there, would he?
I mean, it's not like they don't let orcs in there. They're not a common sight by any means. They're native to the lands of Grainham.
but there's no
They're not
like
unheard of.
Also,
I mean-
he was on a ship bound for Tezrael.
It was kind of more asking him for Lee himself.
right. Like if Lee himself had done that, something to get banned.
Provided he hasn't broken any of the laws, and come on, Lee. Would Lee be a troublemaker?
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
I mean, redemption used to be.
But unless he did something really bad, he would not be banned from Tezverel. Orcs aren't really a common sight at home, though.
I have broken lots of international waters.
Well, that's a sad thing for the women in Tezrael.
Anyway,
Yes, but for now we've got plenty of time. Da Vinci is just gonna plant his hand on Balzy's shoulder. Got some things to look over. And we need to figure out where we're going to go next.
I would like to take a nap and then, yeah.
And also process all of the information we've been given recently.
You guys have been there a while. You guys should get some sleep and eat some food.
Lee's getting pulled off to be Kenta's blanket.
Actually, it's only been like 7 or 8 hours for us.
for us, that's
Yes.
not like, but.
I'm gonna make some snacks.
But she is very stressed, baby.
Wait, no, I guess I'm not making snacks. Steak! And on that note, I think that's where we'll end off tonight.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
There's
On the note of, there's cake!
Did we not do the thing to get the thing?
Sorry?
Thing to get the thing?
Here's the thing.
I'll mention it off stream.
Okay.
Okay, so as per usual, is there any shilling that we want to do?
Nope. I have none, but for the sake of stating it, you guys are now level 5!
That's the thing I was gonna ask.
I'd said it before already, so I didn't think I needed to say it again, but level 5. Welcome. Oh, I get to kill you.
Now we get some fun things.
But
Mwahahaha. Fails. He has a third level slot.
if there is no shilling to be done, then I will just plug us for next week. Well, if you
Will
did
not be as
watch,
lore heavy.
huh?
Next week will not be as lore heavy.
But if you watched tonight and you enjoyed this for whatever reason you decided to watch, we are going to continue doing this stream Thursday nights, 7 p.m. EST. And so we will be here next week, provided, no extenuating circumstances get in the way. Because, sometimes life just gets in the way of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I might break my spine.
Please don't do that.
Late.
But,
Brothers.
yeah, I know. But, yes, if you did enjoy watching us here this week, then tune in at this same channel next week at or around 7 p.m. EST on Thursday, and we'll see what happens next in the Scattered Realms, especially with, oh god, all this information we got tonight.
This was a lore session.
Yeah.
Well, everybody want to say goodnight?
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.